Welcome to the horseradish hoedown here. There's two things I want to yap about. One of them is very near and dear to my boners because it involves a game that I was once the literal best player in the world at. And that's not like an exaggeration. Statistically, I was the number one speedrunner for Mr. Krabs overdoses on ketamine and dies. Granted, it was fleeting, it didn't last super long, but I still look back fondly on my time speedrunning this masterpiece of an experience. Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine and Dies is one of the best speed games you could have ever found, and I mastered it to a level that most mortals will never even dream of. I was the preeminent expert of that game, and I still do hold one of the top times. I'm just no longer the best, and I have retired from it. They can hang my jersey number up in the rafters there. I am looked back on as the Allen Iverson of Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine and Dies. There is nothing that can happen in the universe, the heat death, aliens, what have you, that can take away the achievements that I was able to accomplish in that game, nor can anything put the comeback in my balls. I dumped loads of blood, sweat, and tears into that run, and I am so proud of what I accomplished there, which is why it hurts so badly to see that the creator, Thrill to Will, is being unjustly attacked for his Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine and Dies video. You see, Darman fam, his video for Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine and Dies blew up when it launched. Over 4 million views, and he never saw a penny from it because it was claimed right away. But now, years later, after they'd fully milked the udders off of this puppy here, just fucking bosom ran dry, they've decided, okay, we've had our fun, now let's take down the video. So they've blocked it worldwide after they've made thousands, probably like $10,000+ off of that video. And the creator never got a dime. And now they're taking it down. That's fucking fish paste. And Thrill the Will, some of you might know, maybe not know, ball knowers will. Thrill the Will actually works with Glorb. He does a lot of animation for those music videos. And through things like Mr. Krabs Overdoses on Ketamine and Dies being so popular on YouTube, people are able to find him. And now it's been taken down. It is being blocked worldwide because of a song that was used in there. Radio Gaga long version. It was claimed by SME, and Thrill to Will shared this with me. He already tried to dispute it. It was rejected, so there's now very little he can do outside of trying to take this to court, go through the legal system here, which I imagine they probably have more resources at their disposal to fucking throw at this thing, just toss the kitchen sink at it and be done. So it's unreasonable for Thrill to Will to pursue that. And it really sucks because it doesn't make sense. They were fine with it for years, making so much money off of it. And now all of a sudden they're like, we don't want our artist associated with Mr. Krabs overdosing and dying from ketamine. This is unsavory. So now they've just maliciously pulled the plug on it. That's fucked up. I think that is shameful. So when Thrill to Will reached out to me about this, I wanted to try and do whatever I could to help. Hopefully they'll see the error of their ways, have a come to Jesus moment, and release the worldwide block on it. He's already not made any money off of it. You've made all the money. Why not let him keep it up? Because it's a very powerful thing for his resume so he can continue to find animation jobs in the future. And it is a very great piece of content that doesn't deserve this treatment here. So I wanted to yap about that briefly, and then the other thing I want to talk about is something Dolan Darkus just put on my radar about AI taking over entire YouTube channels. Before diving into the spaghetti and meatballs, I do want to just put something on your radar in case you missed it. We've got deodorant. Cheeky deodorant is here. It's available at usecheeky.com. It is the best aluminum-free deodorant on the planet. Really, like the only aluminum-free deodorant that actually fucking works. We spent over 1.5 years developing this from scratch. It is the best there is in the aluminum-free deodorant space. So if you're interested, go to usecheeky.com and check it out.
Today's Slopic, AI is at it once again, and this time it's basically stolen someone's entire identity. This comes from a YouTube guitarist known as Rich Shell, who released this video going into detail about how an AI channel had completely stolen pretty much everything about him and his videos. And it's not the first time he's dealt with terrible AI on YouTube. You may remember him from last year when he talked about YouTube AI upscaling all of his videos and making them look grotesque.
I've talked about this a little bit as well because this is a growing problem on YouTube. One thing that these AI content farms are doing is they're looking at what videos are popular, and then they will literally just make an AI version of it, basically a one-to-one bootleg, and post it with the same title and similar thumbnail, but again, it is all just AI generated to try and piggyback off the success of something that's blowing up on the platform. And this has been something that's been starting to snowball a little bit. And now it looks like it's gone even further than I was aware of here and is just full-blown taking an entire identity. And it's so fucking degenerate because it's a loophole to get around like the just blatant re-uploading of something, because if you just re-upload a popular video, YouTube does have the tools to recognize that and take it down. So now they use AI to skirt that, and it has been pretty successful for a lot of these fucking parasites. YouTube has to do something here because AI is just getting completely out of control on the platform. It is ruining so much of it. And I know YouTube's made like stances where they very like gingerly talk about it, just very like, oh, you know, AI definitely does have a place, even offering really awful tools about like AI remixing videos for yourself. Like, it's so many terrible ideas and terrible takes on AI from YouTube. Like, I don't know when they'll actually wake up and see just how bad this is for the entire ecosystem on their platform. It is disastrous.
Well, anyway, he talks about a guitar channel known as Guitar Gems with Chase. And if you look at the screenshot from Rhett's video, you'll see it looks a little similar. Not only that, but the video backdrop from this AI channel is almost identical to what Rhett's background used to look like. And they are, of course, also using AI to steal his thumbnails as well. Now, it does seem fairly obvious that it's AI, but nonetheless, the videos are still getting views, and the comments are filled with people responding as if it's a real video.
Now, of course, there are definitely botted comments in there that aren't real people, but there are tons that are. There are a lot of people now that can't tell the difference between real and AI content because it is getting much more sophisticated, and in a lot of cases, much harder for people to discern if what they're watching is legitimate. And in this case, they are literally taking another person's identity and just making a YouTube channel that is an AI rendition of them in order to steal their work one-to-one. It's out of control. It's so dystopian, and it's actually fooling people. It is being very successful. I have no doubt that they are doing this to tons of other channels as well that just haven't noticed it yet, so we haven't seen a whole lot from some other creators, but I have no doubt that there's more than just him. You wouldn't download a car, you wouldn't download a human until now. AI and these fucking worms that are doing this to try and exploit the YouTube system here are basically just minting you on the blockchain, AI-ifying you, making AI channels that just steal not only your videos, but you as a person. They basically just make your doppelganger, your clone, and just fart out AI-generated videos to try and steal some of that audience away from you, or just confuse people in general that might see this like fed to them in the algorithm or something and think that it's real. And it is working. That's scary. That's awful.
That's the sound of your hard-earned money going up in smoke. The guitar industry has a dirty little secret.
Of course, some of these accounts may also be bots, but some of them are definitely real as well. And if you go to the YouTube channel's description, it's actually trying to make you buy a guitar tricks guide, taking you to a site where you can buy the Genius Guide to Everything Guitar, a PDF manual, for only $27.
The greed, an insatiable appetite to continue scamming. So they're not content just farming AdSense off stealing other people's identity with AI. They are also hawking a bogus course too for even more money. An even bigger cherry on top of this shit cake here. These AI worms have no shame at all. And YouTube is not punishing them, not in a meaningful way. This is just continuing to become an avalanche.
Which we obviously already know is just going to be AI generated. And to add insult to injury on the site to buy this, It says written by a real gear guy, not another AI generated listicle. Yeah, don't worry guys, the guitar guide is real. It's just the person and everything else about the channel is AI generated.
I imagine when they say it's written by a real guy, it means that they copy and pasted somebody else's work that was written by a real guy and then just put it into this here to sell to you. Just put a price tag on it. I can't imagine a world, like Dolan says, that everything is AI generated around it, except the manual is real. Like that's actual human made. That's flesh and blood right there, baby. But everything else is AI. Yeah, but trust us, this one's not. I definitely think they just stole that from a real person. So now they're making that claim. That's my guess. That's what I imagine.
It does seem the AI channel is actually aware that Rhett has called them out, actually hearting one of his comments saying, well, this certainly looks familiar. And in a newer video uploaded after he called them out, he now has a different backdrop, which is probably also built on someone else's existing backdrop as well. It does seem the videos have the AI tag now. I'm not sure if they always had that or it only happened after it was called out, but I assume they're trying to make money with the AI generated guide instead. And there are a lot of channels just like this. If you're under the age of 40, you may be able to tell that it's AI generated.
I think Dolan's absolutely right. I think it probably was added later after they got called out, after people noticed that this is all phony baloney AI garbage. Then the AI tags got implemented there, so then they pivoted to trying to sell the course to make money instead. I think he's definitely right there. One thing that is just proven time and time again is that the people behind this, because there are people behind it, they haven't reached sentience yet. It's not Skynet that wants to keep, stealing AI musicians here and making YouTube channels to farm AdSense. There are legitimate, living, breathing, loveless losers that do this. And every time that they get caught or called out, they unapologetically double down on cringe, so like hearting the comment and then changing the backdrop to something that is most likely stolen from somebody else as well and hoping they don't notice. They are just such rotten, filthy vermin. It's crazy. Like, it's just, I don't know how they can even look themselves in the mirror. It's so pathetic. What a worthless thing. And it's something that I think YouTube needs to actually put the kibosh on. Take seriously. Do something about it. Because, as Dolan always says, when it comes to the AI, it's only going to get a whole lot worse. He's right. It is. Anyway, hats off to Dolan, Slop Live, crushing it per usual. I just wanted to yap about these two things here. That's really about it. See ya. We knew this day was coming, and come it did. Xbox has been in the whirlwind of a humiliation ritual laid bare before us for the better part of 6 years, I would say. Like, going strong on 6 years. They haven't been in a good spot since the Xbox One fumble, that iconic blunder. But I think it's really gotten extraordinarily bad for them when they started to overextend and gluttonously gobble up every studio they could get their grubby paws on, with the whole idea being, let's get back to our former glory the only way we know how. Games. All these studios, unlimited games, but then no games. And now we find ourselves in the present day where even with all of those studios, Xbox has produced about as much quality as my ass does. And now Asha, the new CEO here, is making changes. It's a fucking bloodbath. So she has announced that there are 3,200 layoffs coming to Xbox, with 1,600 happening immediately. And over time, the remainder will also sail off into the sunset. It's rough. I feel really bad for a lot of the people that are getting laid off here. I understand that there needed to be a change, but holy shit, that is a pretty drastic swing there. And Asha did post the entire email that she had sent publicly, which I appreciate the transparency at least, so we get to take a peek behind the curtain to see what's going on. I don't think there's any surprise that there's drastic changes coming to Xbox because it's been in such a shameful, pitiful state. It's no secret. Even before Asha, Phil Spencer wasn't exactly shy about lamenting the state of Xbox. There were multiple interviews where he would just openly, publicly say, yeah, we lost the console wars. Drats. Am I right? Jiminy Christmas, where did it all go wrong? Like, they have just, it's just been a constant cheese touch with Xbox. So now Asha's making significant changes here. I think the number of jobs that are being cut is higher than most expected. I didn't think it would be fucking 3,200. That is a substantial amount. But I was also expecting numerous studio closures. But just like my growth spurt, that shit didn't happen. Somehow there were no studios being just outright shut down, taken behind the barn. Double Fine and Compulsion are returning to their founders, so they're going to be going to independent. Ninja Theory, makers of Sinwa, who were just prominently shown at the Xbox showcase, they have been sold, as well as Undead Labs, the developers of State of Decay, which State of Decay 3 also was just showed at the Xbox showcase. They have been sold as well. And so both of these studios are going to be able to continue to operate and finish those projects under new management. And Double Fine and Compulsion going independent. So none of them got shut down. And there was another studio in limbo, Arcane, who, according to Asha's statement, the management is beginning required consultation with its work council to review potential strategic options. So they are also exploring a buyer, as I understand it. So somehow, the studios that we knew were like on the chopping block and everyone was expecting to get shut down, just fucking banished to the Shadow Realm, they made it past the Rapture, which I didn't expect at all. I don't think even God expected that. Without a doubt, this is the best possible outcome. This, it might not be the fairy tale and they lived happily ever after type ending, but this is by far the best that you could have asked for out of this situation. They still get to continue their projects. They still get to continue to operate. All of the studios avoided just outright closure, no shutdown. And Xbox's statement on it is pretty solid. It does seem like they took careful consideration and worked hard to ensure that these studios get to continue to operate and exist past Xbox purgatory. Since this is an Asha statement, since 2018, we have aggressively expanded our studio portfolio while the number of games created each month across the industry now outpaces the last 10 years combined. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers, but also with smaller independent studios. It is neither possible nor desirable to own every great independent studio. We have also learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar we invested. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeed by providing open development tools and audiences to realize their vision. Just openly talking about how this strategy was a failure. This shit was a Morbius level flop from them. It was the fucking new Coke here. It didn't work. They were losing oodles of clams on it. And they recognized that they weren't even really the right home for these type of studios. That just wasn't a good fit. And Asha talks very openly about how unhealthy their business is. Their shit's got the suds, man. Like, they have been limping through the games industry for almost a decade now, I would say. So Asha talks about how they're operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses, and that they entered with a smaller install base and higher cost structure. Their plan was to go all in on Game Pass. Like, they bet pretty heavy. They threw the kitchen sink at Game Pass to get a lot of people on board there, to bring tons of value and get customers in the door there as part of like their core business model. And it just hasn't been delivering on the outcome they were hoping for. And now the industry facing the most severe hardware crisis in its history, she says they have to reset Xbox. Which, again, I don't think anyone out there is flying to the back of their chair. Whoa, what do you mean? That came out of nowhere. They had been in a terrible spot for a long time now. The writing's been on the wall, and in her statement, she actually mentioned something I found very interesting, saying, in some parts of the company, work passes through as many as 14 layers of management. What in tarnation? Holy shit, there's less layers to fucking Fort Knox. What the fuck? Jeepers. Our platform teams are 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation, even as our player base and playtime has declined. That complexity has slowed decisions, blurred accountability, and made it harder to deliver for players. As we reset Xbox, we will simplify. We will reduce management layers to no more than 5, and where possible 3. We will deliver success through a flatter organization that is built around makers, individual contributors focused on building, player coaches, leaders who remain deeply involved in the work while developing their teams, and directly responsible individuals who own key decisions and outcomes. And we will streamline how we work across our tools with a cleaner code base, shared services, and 50% reduced vendor spend. 14 layers of roundabout, reach around, boot scoot and boogie bureaucracy that's unfathomable. No wonder fucking nothing got pooted out at any point. It seems like everything would just get stuck in that pipeline, because that is beyond convoluted and messy. Well, I don't know. I don't understand how they even let it get to that point. Like, this seems like so much mismanagement. And I've been looking at a lot of the teams that have been impacted here. We're going to go through that in a moment. But it does seem that a lot of positions that have been cut here in the initial 1600 have been middle management positions, I believe, which, assuming this is accurate, which I imagine it is, I don't think she'd come out here and just tell a fib. I don't think she'd just go on the internet and lie here. You know, Arthur taught us that. I feel like that's pretty understandable then, to get rid of a lot of like middle management roadblocks and like unnecessary bulk and bloat here. But obviously that's not all of the job cuts here. This is an astronomical number. Like 3,200 jobs being banished to the Shadow Realm, with 1,600 getting fucking snapped away like that. It's brutal. Like, that is absolutely cutthroat. It's a fucking bloodbath. And some of the like teams that are being affected are ones I would have never thought would even be in the crosshairs, such as id. So 50% of id Software has reportedly been laid off as part of this, even though Doom the Dark Ages DLC is literally launching today. Doom is a still juggernaut IP for Microsoft, and id is still a beloved studio that produces games, which is the biggest shortcoming for Xbox that everyone has pointed to for the longest time. The reason Xbox has ended up as such a bad joke is because they don't have games. And when they do squeak out a game from their butt cheeks, it's something most people don't want. It's like very niche. But id Software is producing games that people want. Doom the Dark Ages isn't my favorite Doom. I didn't like it as much as Eternal nor 2016, but it was still a good game, a game that I still enjoyed and liked. I just thought it went in a direction that slowed down the fast-paced gaming that I really loved about Doom, but still a very, very solid title, and it is some people's favorite Doom. And now the team has just been fucking banished to the back rooms, like half of them just wiped out like that. I don't really get that. There are some decisions they've made I get. Like I said, like when it comes to the middle management, after learning about all like the layers and the hoops that they're supposedly jumping through, it makes sense that would be a sector that they'd target, because obviously something needed to change at Xbox. She is right, there did need to be a reset. But I also think that they're getting a little lost in the sauce here, targeting things that I think are detrimental to the direction Xbox needs to go. They need games that people actually want. id delivers those games. Why would that be in any way something that they'd look at and be like, all right, this is a blemish here. We gotta put some cream on it. Let's clear this up. Get rid of half of the fucking id Software team. I just don't think that's steering the ship in the right direction. Another one is the ESO team. The Elder Scrolls Online team apparently has been completely vaporized here. They got fucking deatomized. They took huge hits. And I recognize ESO isn't the most popular MMO on the planet, but it is still a relatively healthy MMO with a pretty strong community, and it keeps people engaged in the Xbox ecosystem. Like, everyone's chasing this white whale of live service games. You at least have one that does have a dedicated community, which is more than you could say for like the last 50 of them that have tried to spawn up, like the last 50 zits that have tried to make their way into the live service field here. You had one that I don't think was requiring a ton of resources. Like, what was really the point there? It's also one of the few things Bethesda even has in general, because Bethesda doesn't really make many games. Like, one fucking game every 15 years, maybe. Last one being Snorefield, which was terrible. So you had ESO, which I think was just an easy layup to just keep going, and now I imagine it's probably going to wither and die. I don't think you're going to be able to keep an MMO alive after gutting 50% of the team that works on it. And from what I've seen, some of those were very high-level positions there, so I think this is them trying to just basically put the pillow over its head and let it go peacefully and slowly. Which, again, I don't think is really going in the right direction. But good news, though, Minecraft and Candy Crush looking to be a big priority for Asha going forward. Yeehaw, that's what Xbox gamers are looking for. More Candy Crush! Yippee! Let's go! Not surprising, Minecraft and mobile game slop factories are cash cows. Like, that shouldn't be a surprise, but it's still not, like, exciting to see. Anyway, though, I do think most of the problems stemmed from upper-level positions, leadership positions. Those are the jobs that I really think need to be more often the ones that are looked at first on the chopping block. Because for some reason, there's this refusal to admit the obvious. It's mainly their fucking fault. And I hate to keep using this example, and it's not even Microsoft or anything, but I think it is just such a strong example. Concord. That was a fucking terrible idea, dead on arrival. That was a just stillbirth that had no chance. And everyone knew that. But they greenlit that idea. They went hog wild on that idea, heavily invested hundreds of millions into that idea, and put the developers on that task. The people that actually worked on it were not the ones that pitched it. It wasn't their idea or anything. It's their job. They were tasked with working on that piece of shit. And as is so often the case, when shit like that inevitably fails, the people that made the idea and put the developers on that task, diverted all their resources to their idea, are the ones that get away without getting laid off for some reason. So then they can continue to just snowball and just make trash after trash after trash with new developers, and the developers are always the one that bear the blame and lose their job because they just did their job of like working on that bad idea. They don't have a say-so in that. I just don't know why they keep getting away with that. So then you have people that just are a terrible idea factory, just left to run rampant, just left to their own devices, continuing to plague and infest other studios, forcing them to work on terrible projects. That's the main positions that I would be looking at first, because it doesn't matter how talented the developers are if you are forcing them to work on something that is just doomed. Like, you could take Concord and pair it with the Rockstar developers, and it would still be a complete worthless pile of trash. Like, there is just no saving the actual idea and the project that you put in front of your developers when it's that bad. And I think that's been a common trend in the industry. So the real culprit, I think, for a lot of these failures isn't just like the developers who actually coded it. It's the people at the top level, up the food chain at these studios, that made the projects and forced them to work on it in the first place. And a lot of them just get to keep doing it. Like, it's just going to continue to be a cycle that repeats itself. No matter how many developers you bring in, doesn't matter their level of talent, they can't save a bad project, a bad idea. And yet they are always the first ones, the soldiers that get cut down in the wake of all of these layoffs, while the people that are responsible for the actual projects that are fucking terrible, the ones that task these developers with working on it night and day, continue to keep doing that. And then the problem's going to keep repeating itself, and they're just so confused, like, oh, where did it all go wrong? Start looking at the upper management. The call is coming from inside the house. No matter how many developers you shit can over and over again to bring in with the same management, you're going to still keep encountering the same problems when the ideas are just bad. Again, doesn't even matter the talent level of the developers. It could be the best in the industry, and they will not salvage dead on arrival ideas that keep somehow squeaking it through the pipeline. Anyway, though, I'll stop yapping about it. That's really about it. So, yeah. I never really planned on diving into the weeds about this guy. It's someone that I didn't really want to talk about again because it's just kind of painful. God rest his soul. It's someone you've heard me talk about quite a bit. My buddy Eric. Cherished memories with that guy. What a character. He was a real pistol, let me tell you what. You've heard me yap about some of the wild times we had together, but I don't think I ever told you about how he perished. Now, many of you know he was a superstar. He really was something unique. Eric, his smile could light up a room, and he never stopped smiling. One day, Eric was at his favorite spot, local Smoky Bones, and he was chowing down and suddenly shed the mortal coil. He passed away. And they couldn't quite figure out what happened to him, but when I arrived at the scene, I knew. It was like Peter Parker stumbling onto Uncle Ben as he was passing away, though Eric had already went straight to Valhalla. I knew what happened. He died from a stink overdose. Because, you see, Eric, in all of his glory, refused to wear deodorant. He just stunk to high heaven. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's lucky that when he passed, he didn't take anyone else with him with the fumes. The Methodist was too much, and he went years like this. And finally, the odor caught up to him. And if there's one thing I know Eric would want, it's that his life serve as a lesson, a grim reminder of the importance of taking care of your hygiene. Don't go your whole life smelling fucking terrible. Please, like, actually, dropping the obvious fan fiction here, it is something I think is actually important. Don't smell like shit. And fuck it, the truth is, it's not just something I think is important. Literally everyone on the planet unanimously agrees that it is important that you don't smell like shit. And so now we're making it easier than ever at Cheeky to help you not smell like shit. We finally have the deodorant available. We have License to Clean, and we have Lo-Fi Lavender. They are aluminum-free deodorants. They're available now at usecheeky.com. They smell amazing, they offer long-lasting protection, and they actually work unlike most aluminum-free deodorants. I want to immediately dive into the spaghetti and meatballs of aluminum-free deodorants. We spent over a year and a half developing this from the ground up, going through over 100 different formulations and iterations from scratch, which our chemist Natalie can show you because she's got a giant fucking Bible full of these at this point here that she's gone through to make the perfect deodorant. But I didn't want us to just develop a product for the sake of farting out a new product, a new Cheeky offering for no reason. I wanted it to solve a problem, which is what Cheeky was made for in the first place with soap. The issue, I have psoriasis and I was tired of feeling dry after showers, so I wanted to make highly moisturizing soap for myself. And with deodorant, I didn't want us to just make a deodorant for no reason. I wanted it to solve an issue. In this case, the issue that I wanted us to tackle and solve, aluminum-free deodorant doesn't fucking work. That's no secret. If you've ever tried it yourself, or you know anything about aluminum-free deodorant, or know anyone that has, Lord have mercy on their soul, you know the universal truth. Shit sucks major ass. If you lifted up your armpits and had me spit on them, my spit might do a better job than the deodorant that's aluminum-free that's been on the market. Now, obviously we don't hate aluminum in deodorant. This is not an aluminum bad spiel or anything like that. It is a very effective antiperspirant, and there's nothing wrong with aluminum in deodorant. However, for some people with sensitive skin, it can cause irritation and a bit of a rash, just overall discomfort. And the aluminum-free options that people have tried, that shit is poop. It just doesn't fucking work. For all of the aluminum-free deodorants that have been on the market for so long, they are useless. So, we wanted to make an aluminum-free deodorant that is great for people with sensitive skin and does actually work. And like I said when I first announced Cheeky, everyone expects YouTuber products to just be white-labeled, regurgitated, recycled garbage. Everything we make at Cheeky, we actually make. So for the deodorant here, like I mentioned, we went through about 100 different formulations. Here's our chemist Natalie going through 92 iterations that are in just this one lab notebook. And there is another one that she also filled out while developing this product. And I want her to explain how it fights odor. And there is one thing we used in here that I'm pretty confident we are the first in the market to utilize. It's an all-natural ingredient that's one of our hero ingredients. It's called SimDeo.
We broke it into kind of 3 different areas. So when you want to deal with odor, a lot of the odor that causes us to not smell super great comes from bacteria. So we have ingredients that make the environment in your underarms like inhospitable to odor-causing bacteria. Specifically, the 2 main callouts are magnesium hydroxide and sodium bicarbonate. These are super common somewhat natural, general everyday ingredients that people are used to, and we made sure to use them in concentrations that gave efficacy but wouldn't cause any like irritation or inflammation or like redness. So that's one way we did it. We wanted to help create a kind of like environment where bacteria couldn't grow. But one thing that we noticed was that we wanted it to be more powerful, so we wanted ingredients that were really selective for targeting the metabolites that are released from bacteria that cause like malodor, right? So one of the ingredients that we use that's really good is one of our hero ingredients. It's called SimDeo. The inky name is propadiol caprate, and that is a really powerful odor targeting ingredient. It's also very gentle and very effective and has a very high natural origin index. It's very selective at targeting the metabolites that are produced by bacteria that causes that kind of funky odor, and it's like why we wanted to use it. It's also very new, very natural, super great to use. We have a couple of other ingredients in there that I can name.
Yeah.
They're kind of complicated to say.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay, so we have a couple of other ingredients in here that are also really good for odor causing and being more selective for like targeting malodor. One is polyglycerol 3 caprolate, and the other one is triethyl citrate. These are all natural, nice ingredients that are, really targeted at the things that actually cause malodor in your body. The other thing that's really good about those ingredients, and kind of the third tier that we kind of tackled with making this, is that they're really good at balancing your microbiome under your arms. One of the reasons when you use just like sodium bicarbonate or magnesium hydroxide to create that inhospitable environment for microbes is that it's not very selective, right? So that's all microbes. But as we all know, there are some microbes that we need on our skin to keep it healthy and thriving and to not cause imbalance. Those 3 ingredients that I mentioned are really, really excellent at balancing the microbiome and not targeting things that you need. So like separation, what you need versus what you don't want, which is what causes malodor.
All of this information is available on the website as well. We also on Use Cheeky have something called Skin School, which people on stream say sounds pornographic. I think it sounds highly educational, to be honest. I see the potential implication, but I think it's a banger name. And that's where Natalie herself, she explains what everything we use is, how it works, what it does. It's something that we constantly update and will continue to update as we do more and more products and as we continue to do more and more testing, because we do a lot of testing for our soaps, for our deodorant now. We do extensive testing and research and development on all of this, and I think it's very important to just be very transparent with all of it and share it with everyone, so that way consumers can make an informed decision on what they want to spend their money on. So I thought it was something that we should put a big emphasis on, which is just explaining it.
I think that's really important to us with fragrance, again with our bar soap, since it started off with Charlie and his audience discussing like a problem that they had. We do take the concerns of our consumers very seriously. So with our fragrances, not only again do we make it smell good, but we also make sure that it's safe, and the process that we do that is very, very intensive. So all of our fragrances are formulated to IFRA guidelines. This is an international fragrance association that controls the things that can actually go into fragrance for consumer products, at what level and for which usage. So all of our fragrances comply with that. We also do extensive testing on our products as finished goods, not just individual raw materials, to make sure that when the fragrance is introduced to the environment where it will actually be in the in use by the customer, that it performs in a way that we know. So we do clinical testing with dermatologists to make sure that there's no irritation, there's no sensitization, and that it's safe for our general consumers. This is also really important to do this clinical testing because we want to have products that are accessible to as many people as possible. So that includes people with sensitive skin or with other types of concerns. While our products aren't drugs and we don't, market them as drugs, we do want to make sure that as many people as possible can use them and be comfortable. And we like to have data to back that up, so if people with certain conditions have questions, we can confidently give them information so that they can make a decision that's good for them.
It's something that we take very seriously here. I'm sure you all have noticed by now, I've been a very vocal advocate for companies giving as much information as possible to consumers about the products that they're selling to them. I think the more information you as a buyer have about something, the better, so you can make informed decisions with what you want to spend your money on. So by showing the testing, explaining everything here on the website, I think that just gives you all of the tools to know if this is something that you want, if it's something that'll work for you, if you have a certain condition, how it interacts with things, what it all means, what it all does. So now I want to spend a minute talking about the price. The deodorant is $14 per stick. And I'm actually pretty happy we're able to land at that number because of everything we're using here. These are not cheap ingredients. And again, we are the first product, I'm pretty sure the first product to the market with SimDeo. Like, this is high quality stuff, and we are a small company, so we don't have the economy of scale to produce at crazy volume that allows us to bring the price down lower than that without taking like a huge financial hit on each sale, really. And the thing is, pretty much no one's going to be paying $14 because most of the people that shop with Cheeky, our customers, are using creator codes. We have a lot of Cheeky partners, and their codes give you 10% off. So what you'll actually be paying for the deodorant is $12.60. And often it's even lower than that because we run so many other deals. And at $12.60 per stick, we are then lower than our main competitor, Dr. Squatch, who also has an aluminum-free deodorant. Boo, it's not as good, I'm just going to tell you right now. And theirs is $13. So the vast majority of the time, our deodorant is going to be cheaper than the main competition that we have with Dr. Squatch. And like I said, we don't have the economy of scale to bring it down in price from 14 base now, but I would love in the future if we were able to. I would love to get in there and bring that down as well, which would go even lower because, like I said, the vast majority of people that shop with us use the creator code, so they're already getting 10% off. I would love to get it even more affordable. But right now, I'm very proud that we were able to get to this price point with everything we have in it and being the best aluminum-free deodorant on the market, period. Now I want to shift gears a little bit to talk about aluminum versus aluminum-free deodorant. So, aluminum deodorant, it is an antiperspirant. This is not an antiperspirant, but aluminum on sensitive skin can often cause irritation, rash, itchiness, also like some yellowing of the clothes as you like sweat and the aluminum drips off. Apparently that's another big one that people experience. I never had that problem when using aluminum deodorant. I just got like the itchiness and the irritation. But it's not like bad for you. Like, we're not against aluminum deodorant, as I said earlier. And the truth of the matter is, aluminum-free deodorant is not going to work for everyone. Everybody's body is different. If you are someone that heavily sweats, if you are a D1 top-tier 5-star perspirer, you will sweat through it. It won't offer you the same level of protection as an antiperspirant aluminum deodorant would. So you would likely need that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's totally fine.
So, in the cosmetics industry, there are cosmetics, there are drugs, and there are both. Our deodorant is a cosmetic because it doesn't actually alter the physiology of your body, nor does it treat an ailment or a condition. This is the difference between a drug and a cosmetic. A deodorant is a cosmetic. Cosmetic is just for beautifying, increasing your appearance, making you more appealing to other people and or yourself. It doesn't actually alter your physiology. It doesn't cure any disease. A drug or an over-the-counter does like change your physiology or it cures a disease. Perspiring, or sweating, as the kids say, is a physical condition, right? It's not like a disease, but it's part of your physiology. And an antiperspirant actually prevents you from sweating. So it does alter your physiology by using an API, or an active pharmaceutical ingredient, that is, dictated by the FDA to give you that alteration to your physiology. Our products do not do that. We don't alter your physiology. We just make you smell good.
So yeah, I realize I've been yapping about this for quite a while, but clearly we're very passionate about it. We've been working on this for a long time, so I've just been very excited to share it with all of you. So I've been blabbering a lot, but yeah, the Cheeky deodorant is available now. Use cheeky.com. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah, I just watched the Gideon arrest and body cam footage. Zoinks. Oof. Like eating a Burger King meal, that was not good at all. And it's really surprising. When I first heard that Gideon got arrested and that there was body cam footage of it, I just assumed that it was going to be over something wacky, weird, or maybe something trivial, because Gideon works collaboratively with law enforcement from what I've seen. So surely if anyone knew about lawful activity and shit, it would probably be him. So I thought maybe some kind of misunderstanding or, something going just tits up out of nowhere, but ultimately it'd be easy to see where he was coming from and be on his side about it. But after watching the footage, that's just not the case at all. I like Gideon. I've said this quite a bit. He's a reformed prankster, and hallelujah for that, because that is extraordinarily rare. Typically, when someone experiences success like Gideon, who blew up online because of pranks, they stick with that forever. But in Gideon's case, at the height of his popularity, he decided to walk the path of God. He found his faith again, and over time decided to make a drastic change and stopped doing that content, which I think is extremely admirable and something that you just do not see happen. It doesn't happen, period. And now these days, his content focuses on having predators arrested. So he's worked to catch a lot of really, really evil, bad people. And the vigilante predator catching community is something that's blown up online over the years, obviously, and in a lot of cases it's handled extremely poorly, where the predators don't get arrested. They instead just get milked. The content creator latches on to their udders and starts fucking draining their balls of all the piss possible so they can monetize the shit out of it out the wazoo online, without any care for doing it properly and getting them arrested. So they continue to still be a danger to children around them. In Gideon's case, I really felt like, while yes, he is clearly making a lot of money off doing this, he is also handling it in a way where these predators do get arrested. So I know a lot of people criticize, like, the reason behind it. Like, are they actually doing it for justice and to try and protect anyone, or is it just for their own financial self-gain? Which is a perspective I can totally understand. That is a very valid thing to be bringing up. I would argue, though, that the good outweighs the bad when it's handled properly and they actually get arrested. So in Gideon's case, I would say that even if the motive has been money, which I'm not entirely sure if that's why he's doing it, I do get a sense that he genuinely cares. The fact that many of the predators that he has investigated has led to actual jail time and arrest, taking them out of positions where they can continue to prey on children, is obviously a good thing to get them out of there. So, I do like Gideon. But, boy howdy, this arrest in body cam is a very bad look, unfortunately. And it's something that I do want to yap about now that I've become aware of it. Oh, they got him on Code Blue Cam. Famous YouTuber gets himself and all his crew arrested.
Just how far people are willing to go to film content.
I don't understand all this, dude. Something so stupid over some, like, YouTube views.
Oh, whoa, YouTube view, that's worth more than gold, brother. You don't even look that old. What do you mean? YouTube views is the most important currency there is. People die over that. People fucking kill each other over that shit daily. This ain't a game, man. What do you mean?
When a man named Joe contacts Woodhaven police officers
Hi,
from
Joe.
a local McDonald's in Michigan, claiming that his nephew and his friends are stalking him. His nephew is 30-year-old Kenneth Chambers, who runs the YouTube channel
Skeeter Gene,
which currently has around 2.5 million subscribers and is well known for doing sting operations. Joe tells the officers that Skeeter and his friends have been following him and filming him throughout the day. Over the past several months, Skeeter has amassed millions of views on his channel by posting videos about his uncle. But Skeeter and his friend and collaborator, 25-year-old...
So is it... Hold on, let me read that title again. I exposed my own uncle. So is his uncle caught in one of the pedophile stings? Or what's going on here?
About his uncle. But Skeeter and his friend and collaborator, 25-year-old Gideon...
Streaming inside squatter's house until he leaves. Is that the uncle then? Is that Joe? So is he a squatter?
Decade or so, he's been financially exploiting and abusing my grandmother, who is also his mother. And before that, he was doing the same thing to his grandmother, which...
And he's a Red Wings fan. You forgot to mention that. He is also a Red Wings fan. Are you kidding me? Uh-oh. It's serious.
is my great-grandmother.
Skeeter explains that despite repeated warnings from the family, his Uncle Joe refused to leave his grandmother's house and had been squatting there for months. So, he decided,
I was gonna go over there and kick his ass myself. But then I thought, wait a minute, I have a YouTube channel.
I can get views, yeah, of course.
So I can just expose him on the internet and make some money off of him.
But according...
Okay. How's that going? You're making money off him, but are you actually helping your grandmother? I'm new to this here, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like it's more about you making money off of your grandmother being exploited than actually getting the fucking problem solved. Am I crazy? That's what it's looking like immediately here.
According to Skeeter, when Joe still refused to vacate the home, he came up with a plan alongside Gideon to solve the problem once and for all. He moved Gideon into his grandmother's house, eventually forcing Joe to leave the property and end up at McDonald's. But
there we go,
according
he
to Joe,
evacuated.
The harassment did not stop there. He claimed Skeeter, Gideon, and their film crew continued following and filming him at the restaurant, ultimately provoking him to call the authorities. But one of the officers soon notices an orange sedan following them as they transport Joe to the Woodhaven Police Department, where a friend is supposed to pick him up. Shortly afterward, Skeeter and Gideon arrive at the station with a large group of people, demanding to speak with Joe. By then, Joe has already left for McDonald's again, and when the detective tells them that Joe is not at the station, Gideon mentions filing a missing persons report, arguing that officers had taken Joe away from the house.
Yeah, Joe went missing. You guys stole him.
What?
Where did they take him, JV? I might have JV like go make like missing people. You know Joe?
Yeah, I know Joe.
We're trying to find him. He's hiding from us.
Yeah, he's not in here, I promise.
You promise?
Yes.
You pinky promise?
Yes.
You
Actually,
pink.
I take pictures of him.
All right, I'm so confused. But he's not in the house either, so what's the point? That's like the whole goal, right? To get him out of the house? Mission accomplished? What does this do? Now, I don't understand why they're going across town now, looking to file a missing persons report and bother fast food employees trying to locate this guy. I guess, yeah, maybe just to keep farming him.
Pinky, 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 pinky promise.
Yes, Joe's not in here.
I don't trust her. Is it cool if I check real quick just to make sure?
Yeah.
I can? I'm gonna just check real quick, okay?
It's around 3 p.m. now, over 4 hours since this situation first began, and as an officer arrives at the restaurant to speak with Joe again, he has no idea that Skeeter and Gideon are about to bring the storm.
I thought for sure that was Jack Doherty. I was gonna say, what the fuck is he doing there? I like Gideon here, but I truly don't understand what this is. I really don't get this. If the goal was to get him out, you got him out. Why are we farming him at fucking McDonald's? This doesn't really seem like it's actually to try and get justice or try and get him out of the house.
They're at his house and they're not doing anything illegal. It's just super annoying. They're trying to get him riled up so they get their YouTube views. We're just trying to find somewhere for Joe to go because they have access to the house. They're allowed to be there, and so is Joe. So we can't make some.
Yeah, squatters fucking suck. I'm all for annoying the shit out of squatters. Do whatever it takes to get them out of the house. I've yapped about squatters so much, bro. I'm not gonna talk your ear off on it for the 100th time. But this is just, it really doesn't feel like it's about that. It genuinely does just feel like it's trying to farm him for views off of it. Because there's just no reason to be chasing him around like fucking restaurants and shit. So they got the Modern Warfare 2 UAV online here, and they are tracking Joe down. They are sniffing him out, hunting him down, and they eventually... It all bubbles over in the Thunderdome McDonald's, which elicits a big old question mark for me. I don't fucking get it. Just like items on the top shelf of my kitchen, I don't get it. Like, really, why chase him around? Why fucking follow him around the town here like it's some kind of tailing mission in Assassin's Creed? Like, getting a squatter out is something that I think everyone understands and can get behind. You know, that's a big old pat on the ass moment because squatters, for some reason, it becomes such a tricky landmine in the legal system where they end up having more tenant rights than you do as the homeowner. And it's so fucking convoluted. It's so messy. It is disgusting. So I think most people understand wanting to annoy squatters and do what you can on your own to take care of it, since the system doesn't like to actually do anything about it. So oftentimes it does end up with people taking matters into their own hands to try and solve the issue, which it seems like in the beginning that was the goal, but it's clearly morphed into something else, which is now just making a big spectacle out of it to farm as much money and as many YouTube views out of it as possible. And Joe is obviously no peach. He's a real piece of work. This guy, I'm only just now learning about him through these videos, but this guy doesn't really seem like a saint or anything. But even still, like, they were in the wrong, chasing him around to like fucking McDonald's and shit, and trying to send like army of children in there to like bypass getting trespass. Like everything that you could do wrong was done wrong here.
Those shelters? None really close to here. But he said that his buddy was trying to find somewhere and trying to keep Joe out of the spotlight. So, yeah. Yep. He'll be out at their house. Yeah. So, thank you so much for the help. I really appreciate it.
Good example. Yeah, the Asian Andy squatter. That's fucking iconic at this point. Yeah, the Asian Andy squatter. That, I think, is... That honestly was handled, like, super well. Like, legitimately. That was handled really well. This is not so far.
Appreciate it.
While Joe has stepped out to run an errand, the officer later learned from the restaurant manager that Gideon and his film crew had returned to the McDonald's multiple times looking for him. The manager told officers that despite being asked to leave and informed them that they could not record on McDonald's private property, they continued live streaming. The group is then seen returning to the police station once again, demanding to see Joe. Believing they may head back to the McDonald's in search of him, the officer returns to the restaurant to keep watch.
All right, we're going to go back and deal with them. Hopefully we can see what we can do about getting them out of there, but we'll see.
And soon, a large group arrives back at McDonald's. But this time, the officers are ready.
What's the problem?
McDonald's doesn't want you guys on the property, so you guys got to leave.
Is he here?
Doesn't matter where he's at. McDonald's does not want you on the property. You guys have to leave. You're gonna...
Who's you guys? Can you be more specific?
You.
So they said
them,
these people?
Him, yes. You guys cannot be on the property.
Hey,
or they're gonna arrest you.
Do you guys want some McDonald's? Y'all want to go inside real quick?
You're gonna be arrested for trespassing if you go in there.
Bro, why? You don't have any, no offense, officer, but like, do you genuinely have nothing better to do? Like,
do you have anything better to do?
Officer, you're actually like supposed to protect and serve.
All right, get off the property. You guys are gonna be arrested for trespassing.
Okay, we'll leave the property, but like, I'm just trying to figure out, do you have anything better to do? Because this is like a...
Yeah, they told you earlier that they don't want you guys on the property, so you guys gotta leave.
Because you've been camping out there for like 20 minutes, wasting taxpayer dollars.
I'm there for about 5. You guys need to leave. You guys are gonna be arrested for trespassing.
It's crazy how you don't arrest a
Yikes,
squatter.
man.
That's crazy. Here, let's just stand on the sidewalk.
But the warning has little...
Yeah, if you want to make a statement about squatter and the squatter's rights being egregious, preach. Completely agree. This is just super not productive to that conversation. This is actually just not a good look so far. That's sad, man. Like I said, I like Gideon. I don't really understand what he thought he was doing here.
Effect. Soon Gideon is seen standing on the sidewalk yelling, creating a disturbance, and stopping vehicles attempting to enter McDonald's to patronize the business. At the same time, officers notice 2 members of the film crew attempting to enter the restaurant with their cameras, prompting them to make their move.
Let's see if there's some McJoes in there. Chat, man, is this what you want your tax dollars to go to?
Jesus, this
Cops
is so fucking
camping out
cringe.
at McDonald's to protect a squatter. He's in there? Really? Should we give them the camera? Yo, do me a favor. Be very careful. Just wear this as a backpack. You didn't trespass them, so shut the f up! Bro, you haven't been trespassed.
We're good. What am I?
Just walk inside.
Just to get on my video?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
But make sure y'all stick together.
Is that backpack like 30 grand?
Oof.
Yeah.
Oof.
They have not.
The jumping up and
Yeah,
down,
hold on.
emoting to the officers about
actually,
it.
come back.
Oh no.
Bro, they're really protecting Joe.
And he's recruiting like a
what are you
bunch of
doing?
kids to do this.
Officer, never trespass them. You can't trespass somebody.
1212 dispatch. We're going to have one detained at this point.
Officer, you cannot trespass somebody.
Captain, we're detained.
She going too, Mitchell?
Here, give me my backpack, my man. This is a violation. You cannot arrest somebody that never went inside and was never trespassed. Ma'am, they are arrested children that never went inside of a McDonald's. Call the DA and see how fast that gets dropped, you dumbasses.
Okay.
Call the DA and see how fast that gets dropped.
Taking these 3?
Watch. Call the DA and see how fast that gets dropped.
He's yelling, so he's being disorderly. Yeah, everybody's looking.
This is absolutely... What are you arrested for?
Disorderly person. You're out here yelling.
Disorderly. You're under arrest for being disorderly.
Freedom of speech. You can yell on the sidewalk.
Sitting here causing a scene.
On the sidewalk.
Yep.
So you can't yell? Officer.
Jeepers.
I mean, officer, how fast do you think this is going to get dropped? Do you really think this charge is going to stick? Do you guys really think this is going to stick?
Sure, we have a
do you want to waste your DA's time? I am a multi-millionaire. I promise you. I can take
Oh.
you as far as you want.
Oh.
Officer, you will be in a deposition and you will be arrested. This is...
Oh, that's minus 1,000 aura. No, 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 man. What? Actually just dropped a "do you know who I am" type line. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Once I got to bringing this out in public, I got fucked. I like I said, I can't wrap my head around what he's even thinking. He's just like recruiting a bunch of kids to start going in there into the McDonald's to film. The workers don't want them in there. Even if Joe's in there, like, why can't you just respect that? Like, you're not doing anything to prevent Joe from squatting at this point. You are literally just stalking him and bothering all of the normal employees and people in the McDonald's for Gideon's views. And then he just dropped the "I'm a multi-millionaire" line. I don't know what went so wrong.
Here, Becky.
No! Call Jake and have him get my lawyer! Call Jake and get my lawyer! Is this really the route you want to go, officer?
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to waste taxpayer dollars?
Yep.
Officer,
For a second, I thought he was going to say, "I'm going to need your badge and gun. You're fired." Gideon fires the officer.
Put your foot in.
I can't even fit in here.
Get your foot in.
Officer, I'm too big.
Put your foot that way. Let's
Officer,
go.
I can't. I'm not trying to be. Here, I'm not resistant, officer. I promise
Let's
you.
go.
It is literally my body autonomy. I cannot move. Can you just put my handcuffs in the front?
No.
And it'll make it so much easier.
Turn your body.
You have to turn and scoot that way.
Have you guys consulted with the DA?
We don't have a DA.
You don't have a district attorney?
No.
You have a state attorney. You
There's
can
no
go.
district attorneys down here.
What about state attorney?
Go. Put your feet in. Let's go.
Wait, where are they? That didn't go well. That dialogue tree option got exhausted really fast.
Officer, I'm telling you, I can't move.
Harvey
That way.
Dent.
There you go.
Officer,
Yeah, let me
I
get
can't
Harvey
move.
Dent on the horn.
Bro, you pushing me is not going to do anything. Bro, officer, you're actually hurting me.
Come on.
Officer, I can't
Scoot.
move.
Yes, you can. Scoot
Okay,
in
can I
there.
step out and then slide in?
Yeah, step out and slide in.
Bro, me, bro.
Set your butt in first.
I sat inside.
Set your-
Yo, call Jake and get my lawyer.
Hey, get him.
So here's something else I don't understand. Skeeter Jean is not even here. So like this isn't even about the squatter anymore. What is going on? He went rogue. This is like a solo side quest. He is just not on camera. Oh, he is? He is still there? Okay.
Some of them try to make sense of the situation.
I haven't seen him in a single one of these clips.
So we got 4. I got 4 right now. This is absurd, dude. Is he arresting him too?
Oh, get out and get off the property now.
Yes, sir. I was not a part of this.
Then you better walk away quickly.
Yes, sir. I was just in the car. I'll leave. Here, Dad, do you mind? Actually, no, man. I'll walk home.
Now you're impeding traffic. Poundstown unit, can you light this black SUV up right here for us? Good, he's pulling up and stopping him for us.
Mind yourself.
We were just trying to pick our friend up.
Okay, well you can't stop in the middle of the road.
Okay.
So he wasn't here. He just arrived. So he must have heard what happened and then showed up. I am flabbergasted at how many people showed up here from stream sniping Gideon. I don't know if he had like made it like a public thing, like, guys, come on, roll through, and turning it into like, you know, fucking fire fest of squatters or something here. But like 50 kids come through here, like it was fucking trunk or treat. There were so many kids that showed up that were getting like recruited by Gideon to like go into the McDonald's, let's go, you know, find Joe, that kind of thing. Where's Waldo? Let's go get him, that kind of shit. And it ends up being like an entire raid wipe. Like the entire raid just gets wiped here. The cops start like dispersing them. A few of them get arrested in addition to Gideon. So now they've got an issue on their hands for showing up and like buying into this and going along with it. It's just such a mess. I get being frustrated with squatters, but this is just not the way, not at all. I mean, yeah, he's not squatting in the McDonald's. Exactly.
If you guys aren't getting food, get out.
No, we are. You saying what? We're just kind of confused. Yeah, I was just asking what was going on.
How many people
Are you guys
showed up
involved
for
in all this
this?
stuff too?
It's like 50 dudes.
We were staying at the house, and then we just pulled up.
And I gave it to them. They're all still out there.
Oh, it's
I'm
Joe.
gonna hang out with him for a little bit. I don't know if I should. What about Skeeter? Where did he go?
I have no idea where he went. The ones that came up on the property after
Did you
told them not
ticket
to-
him?
I think you got a ticket. I don't know. The ones that came up on the property and were causing disturbance on the property are the ones that went to jail. I don't even know honestly who we have. We got quite a few. So,
All right, thank you.
yep. If they come back into
What
the,
about this black guy over here? He was at the house.
well,
And the guy with the glasses,
yeah, I gotcha. So
he was at the house.
the problem was that they were here, and the ones that were causing an issue here is who went with us right now because they could have been at the house. They're allowed at the house because someone.
Joe looks
that
like
has
he just
authority at
crawled
the
out of
house.
a time machine, bro. This guy looks like he just left Jumanji.
Not to come on the property here, and they were on the property and they're causing a disturbance.
They're
and
allowed to
stopping you.
come on my property.
Joe does seem like a big ol' asshole, though. I'll tell you what, man. I will tell you what. They should have just taken a page out of the Asian Andy playbook for the right way to handle a squatter.
Am I officially under arrest?
Yes, sir. I guess.
Okay.
You're for breach of peace is what it sounds like, all right?
Breach of peace, okay.
Breach of peace.
Even though I was on a public easement. Okay. What is the officer's name that arrested me?
You'll get all that when we get back to this station.
Okay. I just want you guys to know that once this case gets dropped, I am going to get a constitutional rights lawyer, and I'm going to go after you guys' qualified immunity, and you guys will be in a deposition. You will have to answer for that because the DA is not going to take this case. It's going to get dropped. When it gets dismissed, I am going for your qualified immunity. And
Damn, it's like
I'm
some
guessing-
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 2 right there. Telling you what's about to happen. Has it worked out like that so far?
Seen him go that way.
Okay.
They set up the music equipment and speakers upstairs.
Yeah, I was there for that earlier today.
This is what I just don't understand. He has been at this McDonald's for presumably hours now. He is not in the house. Why not just change the locks? If he is a squatter in that house, change the fucking locks. You've done the hard part. You got him out. Like, what is that guy's name? Flash, the squatters guy, Flash Steel. What is his name? I can't remember his name, but there is a guy who literally does this for a living for people that have squatters. He goes in, he annoys them to the point they leave, and then while they're out, he then takes it back from them. And something you can do, if he is a squatter, it is literally not his house, but this is a civil matter, so the police can't do anything. Like, there's a ton of things you can do. You can take their stuff out of the house, move it outside. What the fuck is that guy's name? Flash something. Flash Shelton. Thank you. Yeah, Flash Shelton. This guy actually has a really cool history for how he got into it. He's the squatting the squatters guy. I don't know if he still does it. This was a while back. He has his own show on A&E. Is that real? Oh, this guy must have blown up since the last time we checked him out, like 4 years ago. But again, it is a valuable service because squatters have so much protection. Like, there are so many squatters' rights that are impossible to fucking navigate for just a normal person. And the system does nothing to actually punish it. Now, here's Charlie post-game analysis here, because on stream, multiple people mentioned that you cannot change the locks on squatters, it's illegal. And then I thought it just was like a state-by-state thing, but it looks like, no, that is actually universally condemned and is illegal. It's called self-help eviction, which is also illegal here in Florida, which is fucking mind-boggling to me, but I won't even get into that right now. What I find very surprising, though, is that you, as the homeowner, can't change the locks on a squatter when one decides to infect it. But I have seen on numerous occasions with squatters, they go in and one of the first things they do is change the locks, which apparently squatters can do, but you as the homeowner can't because then you can get arrested and face charges if you do. You also, at least in Florida, cannot move out their items when they're away. Again, items that are unlawfully in your residence, you can't do that. This is what I'm saying, man. When it comes to squatters, there is so much baloney, like just so much fucking horseradish around it that I am not surprised to see, like, people taking it into their own hands, like the Asian Andy thing. Like what this probably started as, trying to get a squatter out. Like, I understand that. It clearly devolved into something very different there that is pretty hard to justify or defend. But like the actual meat and potatoes of it is there is a problem with how protected squatters are, that you are very, very limited in what you can legally do to get them out. I remember not long ago, it was like a year ago, I went down this rabbit hole. I think it was on stream, maybe it wasn't. Learning about this individual, this lady who went on a vacation. She took like a month vacation, and when she came back, she learned that there was a squatter in her residence. And she tried everything, exhausting all legal options. The police do not do anything about squatters. It is ruled a civil matter. The police literally can't do anything about it, even if there is a drive for them to. Like if they really want to, they still can't. They legally cannot intervene in a squatting dispute, a squatting situation. But this lady came home, tried everything to get the squatter out, unsuccessful. This battle went on for months, financially butt-fucking her, just draining her, until eventually it made it through the system, and I think it took like over a year to get resolved. But the financial burden that placed upon her was sickening. And it feels like it should just be such a clear-cut issue. Like squatters, I can't believe how much protection there is for squatters and how little there is for a homeowner who is the victim of a squatter. So I'm trying not to just regurgitate what I've said millions of times about squatters at this point, but since this started with trying to get a squatter out, it feels pertinent to at least talk about it a little bit. It's fucked up.
Qualified immunity.
I am the junior person here.
I want his qualified immunity.
1363.
I know my constitutional rights. I know my rights.
Here, I you want to get back to your vehicle.
Officer, how can someone be trespassed that never even went inside? What sense does that make? So you unlawfully arrested those other people, and then with me, I'm on the sidewalk voicing my displeasure with this police department, and you guys...
There's no Phoenix writing your way out of this, man. There's just no point.
Is there a body camera in here?
Yes, sir. It's on. It's recording right now.
Not awesome, brother.
Hey, you know when I get out, we're just going right back to the house. You know that, right? So you guys aren't accomplishing anything. You're wasting taxpayer dollars. I'd appreciate if you get my glasses. I can't see without my glasses.
Yeah, where are they?
They fell in there.
Yeah, I'll grab them.
Yo. What's good, my man? What's up, man? Don't worry, I'll pay for your bond. It's not gonna sit.
You guys can just come up to this counter.
I'm gonna get us with the best civil rights attorney.
Yep, right there's good for me. Stay right there for 1 second.
Ultimately, Gideon Adams was charged with misdemeanor, stalking, and breach of peace. The other 3 crew members were each charged with 1 count of breach of peace as well. A judge set Gideon's bond at $10,000, which he posted to secure his release. The other 3 crew members also posted personal bonds. While Gideon was in jail, his and Skeeter's fans made hundreds of calls to the Woodhaven Police Department and Downriver Dispatch. Some callers reported fictitious crimes, including a false homicide, while others flooded the Woodhaven Police Department's Facebook page with messages. And upon his release, Gideon launched a campaign called Free Gideon, claiming it would prove his innocence and what he believed was the bias officers had shown in favor of Joe.
I'm not sure what all Gideon has said about this after the fact, but that is just horse hockey there, man. There wasn't a bias for Joe. Like, you very clearly went over the line here when it came to this squatting situation, following him around, and then routinely going into that McDonald's, trying to film it, sending an army of kids in there to also do your bidding as well. The employees didn't want you in there doing that either. Like, the actual workers that are just there trying to make a living, now getting, forced into this content to be fucking props, NPCs for this content here, where you've gone way outside the scope of, like, trying to get a squatter out of a residence. Like, it's just... There's no bias here. Like, they did what they were supposed to do. They were called about, like, this disruption here, and they trespassed you, and you kept going. So, like, obviously, this was going to just continue. Like, him and everyone that showed up kept escalating it, so it eventually did lead to these arrests. I don't think there's going to be any, like, long-lasting effects from it. I don't think Gideon or the others that got arrested are going to go to jail or anything. I imagine there will just be, like, a fine or something like that, and that'll be it. But, like, even still, it's such a easily avoidable situation because they took what is something a lot of people understand, trying to get a squatter out, and turned it into this. which is just extremely hard to defend and is just a really bad look.
2026, where his defense attorney will begin addressing the stalking and breach of peace charges. If convicted, he could face up to 93 days in jail for breaching the peace and up to 1 year in jail or a $1,000 fine for stalking.
Look at the Code Blue recent post. Oh no. Oh no. He's a member too. Oh, oh fuck. Yikes, that must have been a rough notification. Man, that's sad. That's actually sad to see, bro. No, the email's not from Gideon. It even says right there, bro. This isn't from them. I'm just saying this is still cringe. This is him. What are you talking about, proven fake? Proven fake by opening your eyes, maybe. Obviously. This is just his community members reaching out. No, he's not. There's no world where he's actually going to jail. That's not going to happen. No doubt in my mind. He's not going for 93 days in jail or a year in jail or anything like that. I have no doubt about that. This is still such a bad look. He did basically everything wrong after getting the squatter out of the house. It'll just be a fine. By the way, Joe has a violent criminal record, so sending kids there to stalk him is even worse. Even without the... That's frightening, but even without the violent criminal record, it's crazy to just start sending random kids to start doing that. Got them arrested too, which affects them in the future. No, that's not gonna last or anything. I mean, that sucks. That's definitely like a lesson learned type of moment for them, but I don't think it's going to affect their future or anything like that. You think Gideon can mend his reputation after this if he owns up to the mistakes? I don't see why not. Ultimately, he didn't hurt anyone or anything like that. This was just a extremely poorly handled and seemingly clout-driven spectacle that he was putting on here to try and farm as much money and as many views off of this situation as he possibly could, and flew a little too close to the sun. Like I said, I don't think this is not, I don't think it's unsalvageable. It is just a really bad and embarrassing look. He made a clown of himself here, which is upsetting and disappointing to see, but I imagine he'll own up to it, like I would think. I'm hoping that he will at least. Hopefully there'll be like a mature response to it from him about this. As I said, I don't think he's going to jail or anything, nor do I think the others that were arrested will see the inside of a cell either. But yeah, just a fucking mess, and really, really blew that, unfortunately. That's really about it. So yeah. I have been getting sent so much TikTok influencer garbage recently. Pandora's box has fully been opened. And while the vast majority of it is a bunch of nothing burger nonsense, some of it is deplorable, like what I'm about to talk about today. Obviously very tardy to the party here. This blew up like 7 months ago. And it's horrific. And the main woman involved here is still posting actually hundreds of times a day, as if she didn't do anything wrong and she's misunderstood and actually just such a great person. It's about this food/lifestyle influencer, Famita, who was hired through a service called Rover, which is, I guess, for dog sitting or pet sitting. And Famita was hired by this individual named Junyo Lee to watch her beloved husky, 7-year-old JC, Jia Qing, for 10 days as she went on a trip. When she returned from the trip, Famita informed her that JC had suddenly passed away that morning, which was extremely surprising considering he was healthy and happy just 10 days ago when she left. And then, when Lee's boyfriend went to get JC, Famita and her boyfriend, and there's a video of this, it's fucking disturbing, deliver the dog's body stuffed in a trash bag, stuffed in a suitcase that they had planned on taking to the vet, That is certified psychopath shit, and it's clearly a lie. No sane person, not even an insane person, even if you were on dangerous amounts of ayahuasca and Fent, no one would even hatch this kind of idea. Like, if you have this dog that suddenly passed away that morning, why would you stuff it in a trash bag and then stuff that trash bag with its body into a suitcase, zip it up, put it in your car, and then take it to the vet? Like, that's how you're gonna get it care. Even if it wasn't dead before that, it would probably die on the way because they were going so far away to the vet for some reason. So it'd fucking asphyxiate before it ever even got there. Like, it's clearly a lie that they're trying to tell there. But yeah, they came to this meeting with the dog's body in a trash bag, a suitcase, and it was missing its collar. Another really weird thing to do. Why are you taking the collar off of the dog?
It's in here in a bag. You want to take the bag out or you want to keep the suitcase?
Is he in a bag?
He's in a bag, yeah.
Yeah.
You go through the bag, right?
Famita rolling up like Cruella de Vil right there. Like, it truly, she seems soulless. It seems like she is just like this hollow husk of misery. Prior to this, she was in hot water on TikTok because she had apparently scammed a restaurant out of like a $200 meal because she had said she was going to make a video out of it. Never did, just got a free meal, which is a very classic TikTok influencer scam. A classic hustle there. But this is abhorrent. So she rolls up with her boyfriend here. JC is in that suitcase in a trash bag. And like, they're trying to say that he had passed away that morning, and now they were trying to get vet care for him. Which, again, makes no sense. Why are you stuffing the dog in a suitcase and a trash bag? This is like some Dexter shit. This is like a mob hit where you're trying to hide the body, dumping it in the ocean. Which I think is actually what they were planning to do, which is why the collar was missing. And she continues to this day to post, no exaggeration, hundreds of times a day.
Everyone is talking about the influencer that's accused of scamming a family-owned restaurant. I believe my son JC also died in her care. My name is Eleven. I want to share my story. My dog JC passed away while the same person, Famita, was watching him. When we got him back, he was in a suitcase, wrapped in trash bag. I will never forget that. In March, I need a dog sitter while I visit my family for only 10 days. Famita told me to not go through Rover. I trusted her, so I agreed.
Famita's gluttony goes well beyond just scamming restaurants out of free food. She is also now trying to cut Rover out of the deals that she makes through the service. So this is her trying to say, like, let's not go through Rover because of the fees that they're going to take. Famita wants the whole kit and caboodle. Looking at the text messages, you can see that she reached out to try and check in on Jiaqing multiple times to no avail. On the 22nd, she asks, "Hi, how's Jiaqing doing?" No reply, so she comes back the following day. "Can you send me some pictures of Jiaqing?" Still, no response from Famita, just completely ignoring this shit. So then later that day, 8 hours later, she says, "Hi, I'm so worried. Can you reply to my message?" To which Famita finally sighs, rolls her eyes, and then sends her some pictures.
When my plan ended, she called me and said JC died while she was watching him. I was shocked. He was healthy.
Famita claimed that he was taken to a dog park and loved it, and now he's just settling down, making it all a home. And sent some more pictures later on where JC appeared pretty dirty, which is something that Lee picked up on as well, saying, "Did he play in the mud? He's all dirty from head to toe. How does he do with his meals every day?" And then follows up by saying, "My friend will be in your area on Wednesday. Can you bring Jiaqing out to meet my friend that day?" Because it's pretty clear she's starting to get a little concerned now too, because Famita's terrible with communication. She's not answering any of the questions at all. And now she has these photos of Jiaqing looking very off and very, like, dirty for some reason. So she wanted to have one of her friends go and check on JC to ensure everything was all right. Again, she knew nothing about Famita's history. For all she knew, this was just a normal pet sitter who does this often, just routinely, and that JC was going to be getting the best care because this is someone who does it professionally. She is getting paid to pet sit through this service, which strangely she skirted the rules of because she's a fucking menace, just a greedy menace. But again, she didn't know anything about Famita here, but she was starting to get a bad vibe, clearly, as is evident from the text messages, and wanted JC's safety to be confirmed by a friend. Which is completely understandable given how unreachable Famita was for the duration of this. And when she did reply, it was just like the shortest, most useless replies. Like, I have been leaving the food and water out for him all day. So is he eating and drinking the food and water that you're supposedly leaving out for him all day? Like, she is not actually engaging with these questions. She reluctantly sends pictures after being pressed numerous times, and the pictures are concerning. So it's very understandable that she was starting to get like a bad hunch about Famita watching her dog, and unfortunately, her worst nightmares did come true.
Happy dog when I left. There were things that didn't feel right. I asked for photos and updates, but she didn't answer for a long time. We told her friend could visit JC. She ignored the message. The pet hospital told us he did not look like he passed away that same day. That was when everything hit us, and we began questioning what really happened. And everyone showing compassion and helping us. Your kindness means the world to me. We just want justice for JC.
Yeah, when they got JC's body to the vet, it was abundantly clear that he was dead. The corpse was rotting, and according to them, the nurse was the one that told us this first. She's like, they say your dog died this morning. There's no way how his body is conditioned. JC was apparently already decomposing and showed signs of muscle atrophy at the end of his 10-day stay with Famita, according to the autopsy report. It's fucking obvious that JC didn't just randomly die that morning or anything like that. Just this claim of, I don't know what went wrong. 1 second, everything was great. We were going to the parks and stuff. We were having such a hoot and a holler here. He was on like a doggy vacation. He was just really loving every second of it. And then this morning, he's just right to Valhalla. Can you believe it? Anyway, here's his body in this trash bag in this suitcase. Don't worry about his collar. We don't know where that is.
As soon as he got into the care of this woman and her boyfriend, Dimitri. This is Famita and Dimitri. They live in Midtown West, and they used to post rover listings online to watch people's dogs for money. Famita only answered, "It's raining," and he went to the dog park. JC's owner attempted to have one of her friends intervene and asked if Wednesday the dog could meet her friend. Famita completely ignored that, and then Saturday at 11 a.m. sent this update about how great the dog was doing, Saturday, March 29th.
This message from Famita is very uncharacteristic because before this, she was basically giving like 1, maybe 2 sentence replies, if that, if she was fully pressed, and she's borderline illiterate. So for her to just randomly send this big update, to me, immediately feels like her trying to set the groundwork for some kind of story about why JC is either dead or missing. So she said, wanted to give an update. Jiaqing made it home and loves the bed and the couch. He made it his. He's been going to the dog park at least 2 to 3 times a week. We took him last night because the weather was great and he played for 2 hours. I've been taking him with me to run errands, especially morning coffee runs, and he seems to really enjoy it. Today we plan on taking him with us for a Central Park walk. Overall, he's getting plenty of exercise and doing excellent. Wow, what a cheerful update. Man, JC's loving it. And out of nowhere, too, because you really didn't want to talk or go into detail about anything you were doing, JC, until randomly the day before the owner's coming back. How interesting. And I feel like her mentioning, we've got a big plan to go to Central Park, is her just getting ready to be like, we lost him at Central Park, or a kidnapper took him, we don't know what happened to him, and they stole his collar right off of him. What the fuck? We can't believe it. We're as heartbroken as you are. JC was like a son to us too. We can't believe it. That's what I think this was. I think that's what Famita was attempting to do with that message there.
When JC's mother dropped the dog off, she dropped it off at 561 10th Avenue, Famita's apartment. Located right behind 561 10th Avenue is a veterinary clinic, Pure Paws Veterinary. Famita insisted that they meet at this vet down in Chelsea. Now, if you're not from New York City, this is a long distance. It's only about a mile, but to get from here to here without a car, which they Ubered, is quite a trek.
Yeah, that is completely nonsensical. They would have known that there was an animal hospital much closer, because in order to even find that one, they would have had to look it up, meaning the one right next to them would have popped up beforehand, but they chose to go to the further one. How peculiar, how very odd and quirky.
Their dog's red collar with identifying information had been removed. This is JC's mom asking Famita where the collar is the day after they found him dead. Famita waited 2 weeks before replying and saying, "Hey, I'm just now seeing this. We don't have the collar." Why would you remove and discard a dead dog's collar, put it in a trash bag, stuff it in luggage, and take it blocks away from your house? Here's what I think happened. I think the dog died from neglect in their care. I think they packed it up in the suitcase in the trash bag and removed its collar so nobody could identify it, had planned to dump it, and then at the last moment realized maybe it has a microchip. Do not trust these sick fucks with your dog.
I agree with that analysis. For the most part, the one thing I disagree with is that they were smart enough to even think about a microchip. They couldn't spell that word. There's no doubt in my mind that that is not something that they thought of. The reason I think they weren't able to dump the dog's body in time is because just like how they most likely forgot to take care of it, feed it, give it water across these 10 days, they probably also just forgot to get rid of the body. And then it was too late, so Famita had called her to let her know that the dog was dead. That's what I believe happened here. I think she forgot to actually care for this dog because she is busy making, I'm not exaggerating, hundreds of TikToks every single day and going on these like food journeys and shit that I think she probably just was never even home to even think to leave out food and water for JC. So I do fully believe that it was neglect. I don't think there's any world where JC randomly passed away. Again, the evidence of that comes from the actual autopsy report where he was already starting to decompose and showing signs of muscle atrophy. There is just no world where he actually died that day. It would have happened days prior due to the absurd amount of neglect here, where he just wasn't being cared for. It's fucking horrific. That's what I believe happened. That is entirely Famita's fault. And I'm very curious how many other pets in her care have maybe met a similar end, or like maybe she did like, you know, lose them or something. Like it makes me really worried for all the other pet owners that unfortunately did business with Famita and her boyfriend. It's fucking terrifying, and it's heartbreaking that this happened here to this woman and her beloved husky. Famita did post a response to all of it, no doubt with a large dollop of ChatGPT assisting her. Everything that was going on, a piece of it was that food drama that was where she apparently like scammed someone named Chef Papa, and then like that was a whole separate thing, a different can of worms that I'm not even going to get into, and then goes into the JC stuff, saying earlier this year she cared for a husky named JC. On the last morning of his stay, I woke up, found he was unresponsive, devastated. It happened while he was in my care. I know nothing I can say can take away his family's pain. Contacted his owner immediately, tried to get him to a vet, but the owners chose to handle any further testing and veterinary decisions themselves. I transported him the only way I had available at the moment, not out of disrespect, but because this was an urgent and unexpected situation and did not know how else to move JC safely and quickly. What? Pardon? Excuse me? I'm about to have like a Porky Pig moment trying to even wrap my head around this. Wow. What do you mean? No one would think to get a trash bag and then put that trash bag in a fucking suitcase. If this actually did just happen, most normal people's instincts would be to just pick up the dog, like the body, and put it in the vehicle. And even if that wasn't something, there's still plenty of other carrying apparatuses that exist. Like, this is so nonsensical. I've been informed that the necropsy and toxicology testing did not find evidence that JC had been poisoned or deliberately abused. I would never harm any animal, and I'm deeply sorry that his family is going through this loss, and I'm also sorry for the distress that people who have seen the video and posts online have felt. And no one's claiming that she poisoned or, like, beat the dog or anything like that, deliberately abused it. The claim, and what I believe is accurate, is that the dog was neglected and passed away from the neglect, not getting food and water and being taken care of. Not that he had been deliberately killed by Famita, but just because she is a neglectful asshole, the dog perished on her watch. The rest of the statement then goes into how, as a result of this story, she's been getting harassed, her family's been dragged into it, she's been getting death threats and all that. Obviously, I never condone harassment or death threats or anything here. This is a truly disgusting story, though, and she does need to face punishment for this. Like, 1000%. She needs to lose the civil lawsuit. Absolutely. Like, I do think this borders on, like, almost criminal behavior, because to me it does feel like there was a plan to try and hide the evidence of JC's death. That's what I think, because there's no other explanation for the collar, for some reason, just being missing, and her waiting 2 weeks to even reply about it, and delivering the dog in a trash bag and suitcase. Like, all of the signs point to She knew she fucked up, this dog perished, and was going to take drastic measures to ensure that the owner never knew what happened. So I do think there needs to be like really serious punishments for that. And it's crazy how she is now online spinning herself as the victim of this whole thing. So, as I've said a couple times now, she literally posts hundreds of times per day on TikTok. I have to mute the audio because it's just her walking with music playing, but it's just shit like this. You should be flattered there was a group effort to take you down and you're still standing. Wow, what a hero, Famita. Really, that is flattering, isn't it? Just untouchable. You could dodge raindrops, Famita. Amazing. What a cool thing to be bragging about. Another big one she likes to do is this. How she's such a good person with a good heart, and if she's the villain in your story, you probably deserve that shit. Now just watch this shit. Here's her most recent TikTok. Again, it's just the same shit where it's a random sentence and her just looking at the camera with music playing. This one actually had me giggle, so I'm going to pause here for a moment. My anxiety probably started in elementary school when I would count ahead to see which paragraph AI would have to read out loud. So she's just spamming these out so fast that she can't even get the sentence typed properly. You need to go back to elementary school, Famita. Holy shit. But again, she just... Every single one of her TikToks is just like this, except for some of the ones where it's makeup. She talks about like a piece of makeup that she's using, like that she enjoys or something. But the bulk of it is just that. Just useless platitudes that she looks at the camera with music playing over. Anyway, just watch this scroll. Now watch this drive. So I'm going to go pretty far down here. And you would think that I'm already like a month or 2 months back on like Famita's TikToks. You'd think this deep. I'm probably back in like February of this year. Nope. 1 day ago. 1 day ago. It's crazy. Like, look at how many of these have 0 views. She is making so many. I have never seen a farm like this before. It's unbelievable. And as far as I can tell, she's been doing this at least since the story blew up 7 months ago. Look at that. 4 days ago, after that long of scrolling, that was like a fucking marathon I ran with my thumb there. About to get carpal tunnel scrolling through a TikTok, and I've only made it 4 days back. And the astute observers out there will have noticed that almost all of her TikToks that I have seen are not inside. They are all out. They are all either at a place for food or her walking somewhere outside. That's why I believe that she was just probably never even home while pet sitting and supposed to be watching JC. She was probably just never even there because she's too busy just walking around taking hundreds of TikToks per day. She probably spends like fucking 8 hours a day just making these TikToks. And again, most of them aren't in her residence. So she probably just never even put water out or food out for JC, just too focused on this TikTok grind here and just instantly leaving every day. So that's what I think. I believe that all of the evidence points to something very shady and very neglectful happening here that led to the death of JC. I hope she's no longer on Rover taking money from pet owners under the false pretense that she is actually going to care for their animals. And hopefully she loses the lawsuit. Like, I do think that this is a really horrific thing that's happened here, and it is her fault. It is. No matter how you spin it, it is her fault, I believe. I don't think that this was just some freak accident that happened. And even if it was, her behavior after the fact is extremely fishy, that it's impossible to give any kind of charitable mental gymnastics to try and possibly explain how this happened. It's just gross. And I feel terrible for Junyo Lee. That is just an awful thing to have gone through. Anyway, wanted to yap about this. That's about it. So yeah. I tell you what, sports fans, that heat wave blasting through the UK must have melted neurons. I mean, just torched frontal lobes in the UK government. Vampires at the top of the food chain in the government over there have put forth a proposal that they're now going to consultation over around YouTube and how it is urging the platform to prioritize the official trusted UK sources over others so they can drown out voices they don't like, or sources that aren't big thumbs up from the UK government. Ah, yes. Always great news when something like this is attempted. Very easy to champion in this and give them a big old pat on the ass. Thanks for telling us what we can think and what we can have access to. They know best. Only approved sources, please. None of that riffraff. Yeah, drown that shit out. Put that shit away. Really, you love to see that. That's what the good guys do, right? You usually see that in the movies. The heroes are advocating to get rid of everyone else's voices except their own. Now, the proposal has the stated intention of boosting the visibility of trusted news sources, and it doesn't just put YouTube in the crosshairs. It is going after multiple social media platforms, and they are urging them to do this voluntarily on their own accord, on their own volition, like, hey, play nice with us in the sandbox here, and we'll be nice too. But if you don't, bruv, we might just legislate. We might get pugilistic in here. The proposal comes from a document called Watch This Space, a new strategic direction for UK media. It's a green paper published by the Department for Culture, Media and Sport. So it is a consultation document, not a bill. So this is not like a law or anything that's in effect, but it is something that they are opining on. It is something that they are weighing in on. And right now, step one is asking the platforms really nicely to do it themselves. Hey senpai, YouTube, would you be open to the idea of artificially boosting the sources we deem trustworthy that gobble our cock and drowning out all of the other voices, please? Yeah, we'd like to really silence them and only amplify ours. Yeah, we're kind of looking to take control of the algorithm itself, and we'd really appreciate it if you guys didn't put up a stink about it. And believe it or not, YouTube's on the right side of history with this one. They are putting up a stink about it. Their response has actually been pretty strong. They are urging creators to push back themselves against this. They're putting the information in front of the creator's face about like the potential ramifications for something like this going through. Again, it's not like a bill or anything, but even this conversation is one that is deeply concerning to even YouTube because they recognize that this is a threat to what the platform is supposed to be about. So they got their teeth out. They weren't exactly shy here. They lat spread a bit, arguing that these kind of rules would override what viewers actually came to watch in favor of what the government handpicks for them, what the government shoves down their throat. Now, hold your horses. Of course, when it comes to YouTube, there's always the question of how long are they actually going to stick to their guns? Because in the past, they actually have, copped a couple of rare W's in instances and then folded not long after. So they have a history of not willing to fully see things through when it comes to something like this, and if the UK government tries to big dog them, I think there's a really good chance YouTube just grovels like, oh my goodness, we're so sorry, we didn't mean to be so rude, yeah, we'll boost them, so we'll turbo boost all of your trusted sources, oh my goodness. I definitely think there's a chance it ends like that. But I will, just for now, give them their flowers for at least trying to push back and letting the public know about what's going on here. I think that's still very valuable. So this is something that got sent out by YouTube. The UK government is running a public consultation called Watch This Space, a new strategic direction for UK media. The proposals include mandatory changes to how content is discovered on YouTube. This could direct audiences away from your channel. This went to UK creators because obviously they're going to be deeply impacted because should something like this ever actually get implemented, all the UK creators are going to be pushed to the fucking back rooms here, banished to the Shadow Realm in favor of the UK government's approved, trusted list, where they would then be artificially boosted to increase the visibility, to get rid of the ne'er-do-wells. As a UK creator, this directly impacts your future. Digital content discovery works best when driven by user choice, not legal requirements. This is a vital window for you to share your perspective before the consultation closes on the 31st of August, 2026. Pin the tail on the donkey. That is 100% right. The proposed new rules include a mandatory prominence regime. There's some nomenclature that'll put a smile on your face. Fucking prominence regime. That is some shit you hear out of RoboCop from the villains. That is actually terminology bad guys use in the movies. And here it is, just laid bare before you, butt-ass naked. Prominence regime. Legit sounds like some shit out of the original Star Wars trilogy. Luke Skywalker fighting back against Darth Sidious and the prominence regime. It's crazy to just see that there. This could require digital platforms like YouTube to prioritize and give a privileged position to traditional broadcasters like the BBC, ITV, and Channel 4 in user interfaces and recommendation feeds, potentially pushing your content out of sight. Yeah, that's the entire idea. Float all of the trusted sources from the prominence regime to the top and drown out all of the other voices that they don't have on that short list of approved trusted places. Mandating prominence to traditional institutions will impact all other independent digital creators, production companies, and media orgs, including through your content downranked. Pushing this group forward means pushing everyone else downward. Mandatory prioritization of broadcasters would affect how your content reaches your audience, regardless of what your audience actually wants to see. Reducing user exposure to diverse content and independent creators. Mandating prominence for established media networks would push the UK's diverse mix of independent journalists, educators, and digital-first businesses down the line. Threat to reach and channel growth. Your ability to organically grow your community, generate views and revenue, and build a sustainable business is compromised if your content is hard to be discovered, and undermining the creator-audience bond. The consultation neglects/emphasizes trust in the context of legacy broadcasters, implying that digital-first voices are less credible, damaging the foundational trust that sustains the creator economy. I'm not gonna lie, seeing YouTube put out something like this is like the episode of SpongeBob where Patrick Star becomes a genius for a day. Like, they got pretty much all of that correct. Like, they are 1000% right about the impacts it'll have, not only on the creator space, but just on, like, you as the viewer in the UK. You would basically just be ass to mouth, well, mouth to ass on the UK government. You'd mainly only be being exposed to what they approve. They're right. They know what's best. Don't question them. Only consume what they say you need to consume because they know best for you. Don't worry about all of the other independent creators or companies or journalists. Just ours. We're going to bury them so you'd have to really go out of your way in the fucking sticks and mud to find anything that isn't approved. That's the idea. And that shit is concerning, that shit is alarming. It should be a frightening prospect for anyone. And as is always the case with things like this, the scapegoat, the boogeyman they all like to point to for why they need to act now in your best interest to save you is because of dangerous misinformation that people are being exposed to, or like really unsavory bad actors doing degenerate things and scoundrels, that kind of shit. So we have to drown them out. We have to put them 6 feet under with official trusted sources floating to the top, increasing their visibility so you can't find the other stuff. I've yapped so much about this topic in particular, I don't want to just regurgitate it again. I think it should be pretty clear if you stop to think for even just a couple of moments. This doesn't even really combat that problem or anything, by the way. All that will mean is that people are going to seek out the other shit more because now it feels nefarious and evil if you're trying to force it upon them. Where, like YouTube said, it's not about what viewers want to watch, it's about what the government is allowing them to watch, what they are making them watch, really, like what they're showing them and trying to force away. It's going to make people more inclined to seek out the other shit that might be dangerous misinformation or something. So it doesn't even actually solve that issue, by the way. Clearly, it's about complete control over the narrative, over the levers and the switches for what information you have access to that makes it into your cranium and penetrates your soul. They want to ensure that they're the ones that get to program you, that you think the way they want you to think. And to do that, they are requesting so politely, pinky out, great manners, that all these social media platforms just bend over, butt fuck the algorithm here in order to improve the visibility of their trusted sources. That way they can push everything else out. The prominence regime. We love that word here. That's great. That's a great word. That's one that everyone gets a big old smile on their face, grinning from ear to ear, because they know it means something so positive for them. And sarcasm aside, there are actually some lobotomites that are cheering this on as a good thing, because there always is going to be. That's the lesson I've learned over the last, 5 years. No matter how objectively bad something is, people will still love it because they are told they should. in this case by the UK government. So they're more than willing to just blue screen upstairs and mindlessly pump their fist for this, even though it is just blatantly censoring anyone and anything that isn't just on the wiener of the UK government in their good graces with their prominence regime. And let's say you love the names here from their trusted sources, like you're a big fan of these organizations, right? And let me just give you a little food for thought. I want to put a little something on your plate here to chew on, a little morsel here to marinate on. These are the trusted sources now with the current government officials. But government officials are always coming in and out. So who's to say that's not subject to change down the line? And should this actually go through where they get to control the algorithm and what floats to the top and who they censor, who's to say they don't start introducing new ones in here that maybe you don't like? You know, maybe you love these organizations so you're okay with it, but maybe when new government official comes in, they say, you know what, the Sun needs to make this list. We're going to put the Sun here and float them to the top and boost them as the reliable, trusted source. Like, it's just... No matter who you are, this is not something you should think is good. If you just stop and actually think about it. Just under no circumstances should this be something that any normal person views positively. Like, why would you want options taken away from you? Like, don't you want autonomy? Like, why would you only want to exist in the bubble the government wants you to exist in and never be able to, like, explore other things? Like, that is a very sad way of going through life, being content with something like this unfolding. Anyway, though, thought this was a pretty big deal. Again, I appreciate that YouTube's at least pushing back against this publicly. I would like to see them have this energy throughout the entire process, you know, come consultation. Like, if it all goes tits up and they do try and, like, legislate and force YouTube to make this algorithm change, I would like YouTube to not just immediately go belly up on it and conform to it. I would like to see them, you know, maybe try and call them out on it. Like, okay, well, we're not going to compromise the integrity of our platform by doing that. So do what you need to do there. If that's cutting off access to YouTube in the UK, so be it. And I bet it probably wouldn't get to that point because while that would obviously affect YouTube, the UK would be far more affected by YouTube just all of a sudden not being there. The data that I've seen in terms of YouTube consumption in the UK, it's very high. And this is obviously why they're putting YouTube on this list of platforms they want to target for boosting the visibility of their shit, because so many of their citizens are getting their information from YouTube. So the point I'm making is I have no idea what this would look like should it all end up in legislation. But I just don't want to see YouTube like just fold, which they have historically been known to do. But yeah, that's really about it. See ya. If I'm looking exquisite and festive, it's because I was getting ready for a little 4th of July hootenanny this evening, but I had to drop everything, stop, drop, and roll because a buddy of mine sent me something and told me to take a look. So I held my horses, and you bet your sweet bippy I took a peek, and I'm glad I did. Because this is serious. A very popular TikTok influencer is under fire for a really out-of-touch video she made where apparently their food order from Sam's got canceled a few times, so they were forced to go to a local grocery store for their nutrients. They had to shop at a local spot. And for some reason, she filmed it all like she was making first contact with aliens. She's walking through there bewildered.
Sam's Club canceled our order 3 different times, so we are in this teeny tiny little town in the mountains, and we're gonna try and hopefully get all of our groceries for the next 4 days.
Her friend chirps up saying, "Wish us luck." With what? You're not going into a battlefield. You're not being sent to storm the beaches of Normandy. You're going to a local grocery store. Why? They're acting like they're getting sentenced to like Arkham Asylum or something, or like they're going to prison. Well, it is actually unbelievable how out of touch it is. Also, I'm a little confused. So Sam's Club canceled your food order 3 times. So then you went to a local grocery store. fucking go to Sam's Club. Like, just go there in person. Why did you then just like go to a different spot then if you're so uncomfortable with the idea of shopping where the plebeians do? Like, just then go to Sam's Club then if it's such a huge pressing issue. They canceled your online order, I believe. But did they also burn down the Sam's Club? They just pack it up like, Jesus, this fucking lady again ordering from us. All right, we're canceling the order and we're just ceasing operations. It's not worth it anymore. She's a menace. Like, I don't understand. What stopped you from just going there and just picking it up in person?
This is so small town vibes. It's not even funny. I have a feeling this is not going to be good news. We don't even have a car? This is a simulation.
She's entering this grocery store the same way Jack Black did when they first landed on Skull Island looking for King Kong. Like, just so blown away by everything. This is so crazy. Get the camera. Holy shit. Where are we? What is this? This place. This cursed place. This dead land. And it's just a totally normal grocery store. And she's like, oh, this is a simulation. Oh, this is not gonna go well. Like, what do you mean it's not gonna go well? This feeds entire communities here. You're gonna be fine. It's food. It's a grocery store. It's doing exactly what it's meant to do. I don't know what she's so blown away by and confused on. How is this a simulation? How in the fuck is you going to a normal grocery store a simulation? Like, I think it's because she doesn't live a real life, so she has no idea what shit in the actual world is like. So all of this is just incomprehensible to her.
Oh, shit. Here we go, I guess. While she's grabbing that. You do need a melon? I'm just sitting here laughing. I'm just sitting here laughing.
Thank heavens, the hero has arrived with the shopping cart. Simulation has been broken. Whoa. Close shave there. Just sitting there in the middle of the store filming and laughing about shopping in a normal grocery store where normal people shop. In hysterics. Ha ha ha, I can't believe it. Look at this. They're shopping at a place I don't shop because I have so much money. Oh my god, are you guys seeing this? Oh wow, people live like this and shop in places like this. Oh wow, I could never.
Their fruit does not look good. Like, all their fruit looks bad. I just looked at Lauren, she's like, I'm stressed out. I'm mad at Sam's. Sam's Club and I are not friends. Oh, they still have a bag of suitcase. Guys, this is not good. Maybe I'll just do these. Aaron, I know, needs some stuff for his salads. At this point, I'm just grabbing shit.
This was probably the most exciting thing she's done in the last 5 years of her life. Going to a normal grocery store. I bet she told all of her friends about that in the group chat. Guys, you won't believe where I was today. A fucking local grocery store. And then all of her friends, are you okay? Did you get jumped? Do you need help? It's just so fucking, it's ridiculous. What a ghoul. She's like, oh, the fruit does not look good. It looks fine. All the fruit that I've seen here and everything that she's shown on video looks totally normal. She's just making shit up. Like, because now she's in a local grocery stop, everything is like beneath her now. Oh, all of this gruel. Ooh. Yikes. But we're gonna tough it out. We're gonna tough it out, guys, and you're gonna join me on this journey. Like, why would she even film this? What did she think the response to this would be? Does she not realize that the majority of people shop in stores just like this? And now here she is just making fun of it. And making fun of you, insulting you if you shop there. This is so beneath her that she can't help but come in here, laugh at you, and say how bad everything looks and how stressed out they are even being there in the presence of the riffraff. And all of this not good looking food, which again, all the food looks fine. Like, this feeds communities here. It's a normal grocery store. You'll probably be able to make it through just fine and for 4 days worth of food here. It's just so, it is actually so out of touch.
I'm like, low-key, we should just order out, because this is crazy. I don't see any 100% beef. This is absolutely insane. Lauren and I literally just keep saying we're fucking mad at Sam's Club. I feel like I'm in a simulation right now. For my 4-year-olds.
This is the only kind of pickle.
That's fine. Aaron needs them for a salad too.
This place actually broke her. She just keeps saying over and over, this must be like a simulation. This is crazy. This is insane. What's crazy or insane about it? You're in a grocery store. Like, that's it. What is so wild or unbelievable about that? What the fuck?
You're good. Okay, I'm seeing ribeye or strip. You like ribeye or strip better? This is crazy. Cream butter. I don't see any normal eggs. Oh shit. Those are ours simply because. How fresh those are. Right. Those are ours. Definitely have to hit. Beep beep. We have to hit the fruits and veggies again. How much do you hate me right now?
I mean, not a lot.
Just a little bit. I don't think I could have ever gotten Lauren drunk or high enough to be in this place right now.
What an insufferable dynamic duo. That's just truly sad and pathetic. You're just in a normal grocery store. There's nothing crazy going on here. You're still finding all of the same food that you were probably ordering from Sam's. Maybe not like the name brand you were looking for, I suppose, but even then, I saw some like very normal name brand ones in like the quick fucking Cloverfield pan she was doing around here. It's all very standard grocery store shopping experience, and yet these two are so insufferable that they're still just taking the piss out of it and like, oh, Lauren, I don't think I could get her drunk or high enough to have come in a place like this. Oh, it's hell. She must be pissed. She must be so mad at me for this. How mad are you at me, Lauren, huh? Like, what? That's just so dumb. I can't believe that she actually filmed this and posted it.
Baby, I can't get nothing. Baby, there is no plane. Oh, I didn't see that. My bad. Don't even ask. A crazy experience. An absolutely insane experience. The greatest part is that guys are there, so all we have to do is drive. I love it.
I moved this cart.
Oh, thank heavens. They made it out alive. Wow. Yeah, I bet her heart rate is through the roof. Fucking 150 BPM bare minimum. That was exhilarating. Really makes you feel something, you know what I mean? Going into a grocery store like that, a local shop, heaven forbid. Man, I'm getting a rush just having watched it and gone on this experience vicariously through them. Oh, can you believe they actually went in there without like a hazmat suit, by the way? Can we just give them a round of applause for being so brave going in there wearing just normal clothing, normal attire? No like chainmail or anything? They just went out there and braved the elements. They went to a local grocery store without any kind of like, you know, Kevlar vest or anything.
Holy shnikes. You could tell the lady at checkout. Now it started raining. What is happening? Literally, what is happening? Not it randomly start raining.
Jesus, it was.
What is happening to us?
Jesus, take the wheel.
I literally was like, what is going on right now? All I know is we gotta go.
We didn't get ice. We have to go to Green Mart. I gotta go in there. I gotta go shop local. We have to get ice.
It's like, we can just forget it. Pretend we forgot it. Alright, we gotta go.
Absolute cinema. That cliffhanger, that like crazy scary revelation at the end of the horror movie. We forgot ice. The call's coming from inside of the house. What a twist. So now, what are they going to do? Are they going to go back in? No, it's too dangerous. No, they couldn't. And like she said, we're just going to pretend that we forgot the ice. It's safer that way. We don't want to go back in there. That's too much. That's way too. They already put themselves through the ringer just getting these nutrients there. That was hard fought. That was a battle. And then it randomly started raining. Like, what is that day? I mean, she's right. That's crazy. Like, what a wild day. Rain too? Like, what? The universe just was not on their side. I mean, shame on you, Sam's Club. You see what you made them go through? The torture they had to go through? Wow. So yeah, that shit sucked. I appreciate you sharing that journey with us. That was a very enlightening peek behind the mask. I feel like this is eye-opening to a lot of people that followed her. She is a very popular influencer from what I can tell. I don't know what the fuck she was thinking here. What a terrible look. Extremely out of touch. But yeah, I had to yap about it. That's really about it. I know it's not like a big deal or anything, but it's still so odd. I really don't get why. Like, how can anyone exist like this, that just going to a normal grocery store is like the scariest and like most exciting thing you've ever done because you didn't get your Sam's Club food order and they said no. So then you were forced to go to this, a normal place. I don't know, it just feels like a really hollow life to live. That feels really sad. But she clearly had a great time with her best buddy there, and they, proudly shared it online for all of us to experience too. So there's that, I guess. Anyway, yeah. That's it. So, yeah. Well, good morning and happy 4th of July. You're looking awfully chipper. I imagine you have some big plans for today. Just be safe with the fireworks. Don't blow your fingers off or blow your cheeks off when you grease your cheeks and stick a Roman candle in your ass. Just make sure to have a good old time celebrating today. And also, in order to get in the spirit, at Starforge we're doing a huge sale for the 4th of July, so if you're looking to upgrade your PC or get the best PCs in the universe off rip, go to Starforge and pick those puppies up. Sometimes there are some body cam titles that are just irresistible, and yesterday there was such a case when it came to a man that tricked officers into letting him escape. When I heard that, I had a very odd picture in my head about what that would look like. I was expecting something a la like mind control, like an X-Men mutation or something. Or like Code Geass, where he gave them the command to let him go. But that's not exactly how it unfolded, not to take anything away from such a valiant attempt at evading officers, but it's a pretty wacky one that watched on stream last night from EWU Bodycam that I wanted to just share with you here as well. Man tricks cops into letting him escape. What a beautiful title that is. What did he do? The Jedi mind trick? Hit him with the hard sell? Like, what? I've got to see that. Or did he, like, change his disguise or something? Like Agent 47. I'm too curious. We'll do some Steam dumpster diving in a minute.
When deputies in New Mexico arrest a suspected con man, they're caught off guard when he goes...
I'm gonna tell you, if he tricked them into letting him escape, he's no longer a suspected con man. He is an extremely successful con man. Very persuasive.
...goes to extraordinary heights to avoid jail.
Steven! Get down!
He's in the ceiling.
The following is based on official police records released to date. And
Ceiling
some of the footage
strats,
has
rare
never
in
been
the
seen
meta.
before until now. On February 9th, 2024, Bernalillo County deputies arrive at the home of 60-year-old Stephen Byers, a man...
He's 60? Damn, he looks good for 60. He's looking fresh.
Can you just open the gate and let me put the dogs in?
Let's sit you up to your backside there.
Okay.
Will they like listen
Yeah,
to
they'll
you?
listen to me, yes.
Send them up.
Okay. Thank you.
The deputies walk Stephen to a cruiser and search his pockets, finding tinfoil and a small tube containing 42 blue pills.
Those are the limitless pills. He's about to unlock 100% of his brain. Or hit a fentanyl. Could be one of the two.
You guys got me cuffed. They won't do nothing. Please, you guys, please, please.
Do you have leashes or something?
If you just open the gate, I'll tell them to go and they'll run back there. Forward.
There's only one problem. The gate is locked, and the keys are inside the truck.
Are they mean?
Oh, I see. Okay, so this isn't exactly what I thought. So my guess is he's going to get into the truck and just fucking take off, pedal to the metal. I thought he was just hitting all the, like, charisma checks and was able to persuade them to leave. They're like, okay, we've got to let this guy go. He's too smooth. He's too suave. All right, I see how this works now, I think.
While some of the dogs are distracted, a deputy is able to quickly reach in and grab the keys. But they still need Stephen's
How many
help
dogs were in there? There's a dog hiding up in here, it looks like. Is that a dog? Wait, what am I looking at there? Is that it's like the fucking chupacabra. Are those 2 feet? Is this a duck? There's definitely something there, right? I'm not on the crack pipe, right? I think that's just toilet paper. No, there's like a snout here. It looks like... No, you're right. I think it might be toilet paper. But it looks like there's a little snout here and 2 little feet. That shit is just like a gremlin-looking thing. That toilet paper came into a weird formation there under the brakes.
Some of the dogs are distracted. A deputy is able...
No, it is a dog, you bastard. You made me think I was crazy. That is 1000% a dog. This man's got dogs everywhere. It's like an Easter egg hunt.
To quickly reach in and grab the keys, but they still need Steven's help getting them out of the truck and inside the gate. They decide to let him help if he's willing to cooperate.
How does it even fit back there? I don't know, it's like playing Mecha Chameleon in his car.
Yes, I did. Why'd you do that? Because I was freaking out.
With Steven's cooperation, they're able to get his dog safely inside. And while that's one problem solved, they're about to have an entirely new one on their hands. While in custody, Steven complains of chest pain and difficulty breathing, and
I was wrong with my assumption.
To hospital for treatment. There, staff administer nitroglycerin, a medication that can cause side effects including nausea. Eventually, Steven asks to use the restroom.
No, you're good.
Alright, don't do anything weird in there, Steven, like climbing into the ceiling or something nefarious.
For several minutes, Steven can be heard vomiting behind the bathroom door. He soon returns to the deputy's custody without incident, so there's little concern when he asks to go again. But it's during this next trip to the restroom that a strange noise catches a staff member's attention, signaling that things are about to take an unexpected turn.
Hear what? Like a, I don't know, loud sound. I don't think so.
Steven, have you vanished in there?
All good in there? Steven, you alright?
What is happening?
I hear it up there.
What the fuck? Why is he screaming like that? Did he encounter Siren Head up in the ceiling? What's going on in there?
Uh-oh.
Can we?
Does security have a key?
Bro saw a spider. True.
Get down!
Quit with the horseplay.
Can't make this.
Oh my god.
We need a key to this door.
Working security.
Well, just go chase him around up there. Let's get a ladder and get up in there.
How you doing? Steven, get your ass out here! Please notate in the CAD that my 16 is trying to escape through the ceiling at Loveless. We're gonna get you. He's not doing very good.
While hospital staff begin...
Yeah, luckily the
moving
booby
patients in
traps
case
up there
Steven
are
falls through
working.
The ceiling. A member of security unlocks the bathroom door. Inside, they find that Steven had overturned a trash can, using it to hoist himself up through one of the tiles.
Steven!
60-year-old man, by the way.
You're not getting out, bro. Get your down here. He's moving that way.
He vented.
Yeah, he's moving this way. And fall through. Where are the lights?
Once the commotion stops, they begin to fear he may have already found a way out. Maintenance brings in a...
What? What do you mean? What? Brother, I literally heard him in there fucking tangling with the boogeyman. What do you mean he found a way out? You might, I feel like you got eaten alive up there. You might find like skeleton, like a skeleton. Found a way out my ass.
Hoping that Steven may still be hiding, a deputy climbs the ladder to get a closer look.
Well, this is cool up
this
here.
Drops down, and the like insulation is pulled out that he might have went down to the floor. Down right there? Yeah, like straight down under where the ladder is.
What a cool adventure he must have went on up here. Keep in mind, Steven doesn't have a flashlight. So I think the reason he was screaming is because he went into the ceiling and then instantly fell into the hole here. He got right in the ass crack. Because it's pitch black in there. He's actually just fucking tumbling around in the pitch black.
Once the deputy reaches the ground, he quickly spots Steven crouched in the fetal position.
That was stupid, huh?
Yeah. I tried. Let's go.
It was a good try, Steven.
Let's go there. Why would you do something like that, dude?
Just got scared.
So now extra charges is worth it, bro?
Come on, let's go. I'm not violent.
Hey,
I
Steven.
don't think you're violent, but I got him right here.
I just got scared.
All right, we're just gonna bust through the wall. Very limber for 60, Steven. Very impressive.
Step down, turn around, put your hands behind your back. You good? Yeah.
Very cool. What a cool little adventure. I wouldn't necessarily say that was the most impressive trickery. He just said, "Can I go to the bathroom?" and then climbed into the ceiling. I thought it was going to be like a very elaborate scheme. But that's about as simple as it gets. That's like video game type shit. It was worth a try, though.
According to police records, hospital staff estimated approximately $20,000 in damage, including broken ceiling panels and pipes. After Stephen was discharged,
I guess he
was
could have
permanently
fallen through it.
trespassed from the hospital.
Can you imagine being trespassed from a hospital like you're dying, but they won't let you in because you climbed in their ceiling? Nope, sorry. You're blacklisted. Look, your name's up on the wall. Sorry. You're gonna have to go somewhere else and die.
And 2 counts of larceny. He was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months in the New Mexico Department of Corrections, to be followed
Which
by
he's
1
already
year
escaped
for
from.
parole.
Worth a try, I suppose. Reminds me of those prison breakouts. But less successful. I used to be an Epic Games glazer. I am reformed now. I've seen Tim Sweeney for what he truly is, a dweeb. Just a pathetic twerp. But there was a time when I was gushing grannies over the direction Epic Games was going. With their incredible success with Fortnite unlocking the infinite money glitch, it really felt like they were actively trying to use that to help elevate other developers as well. And they had very generous splits with the community when it came to like custom content and like the Fortnite creator codes and stuff. Like the successful maps that the community makes on Fortnite, their program was giving them millions of dollars, like a very unprecedented split with the people that were making that content. So for a while, I really was, pumping my fist like, hey, go Epic. Even though I'm not the biggest Fortnite fan, I just bought hook, line, and sinker into the idea that this was a company that actually did care about the industry and other developers as well as the community. And maybe some people in the company still do, but Tim Sweeney I don't think is one of them. The mask has fully slipped on this guy, and I'm seeing Voldemort for what he is. This guy fucking sucks. Dude loves to hit the Twitter sphere and drop the most cringe-inducing takes you'll see a gaming CEO unapologetically fart out. He's been going Insano style recently, just dropping bad take after bad take out the wazoo almost daily, so I wanted to go through a little montage of his lowlights. One of them that actually made me giggle really hard is how he loves to keep giving advice to Valve on how they can be more successful. Which is very tough talk coming from someone who has the goddamn Epic Games Store, an absolute joke of a platform that's become synonymous with garbage. It is comical. People shoot spitballs at the Epic Games Store. It's a flop and everyone knows it. Yet he keeps piping up, chiming in, saying things like, Steam charges such high fees that companies like Genshin Impact maker MiHoYo find it more profitable to go it alone, but then had to be reminded from fans that MiHoYo has multiple games on Steam, so he can't even get anything right when it comes to offering unsolicited advice to a significantly more successful company. It feels like a child who keeps tugging on his dad's, coat, give me attention, please. Gabe Newell, please, give me attention. Look, I'm trying to help, look. It's just so embarrassing. Here's the full tweet here where he's making the statement. It comes as a reply to someone saying, it's Steam's fault that Epic won't put their games on there, apparently. Tim somehow finds this tweet and then says, here's what's happening economically. Steam charges such high fees that developers with strong brands and big enough audience, like Epic, Riot, and MiHoYo, find it more profitable to go it alone. Ironically, lower fees and more openness might increase Steam profit. Is that right, Tim? Why don't you try and focus this Galaxy Brain strategy on increasing profit for your completely dead and rotted Epic Games Store, man? You have your own platform, you know that, right? Why are you even trying to come out here like the savant in the industry on successful platforms? Steam not only dwarfs Epic Games Store, but fucking world stars it. Like, they Gangnam Style on top of Epic Games Store. And yet he keeps doing this shit constantly. And he's wrong, again, because MiHoYo has multiple games on Steam. Like, it's just crazy. It's clear, because he has the Epic Game Store, he has to keep finding ways of trying to, like, passive aggressively fight against Steam, because that's obviously their biggest competitor, but he's so bad at it. Now, in an interview with PC Gamer, which is where some of the conversation stems from, where Tim was talking about the whole kit and caboodle of future games AI, because Tim Sweeney has become a huge AI shill, and he had another wacky AI take just today we'll go over in a little bit. He was also asked about whether Valve would ever join forces with Epic. It's now clear that nobody's going to end up with an absolute monopoly. And then he goes into Team Open and his objections to Steam AI disclosure, by the way, which we're definitely going to talk about, because he is a big advocate for getting rid of the AI disclosure Steam requires when your game uses AI. But I want to start here. This is coming off of a previous question about if he ever sees a future where Valve and Epic work together. And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. Because Gabe Newell occupies more of Tim Sweeney's mind than Epic Game Store actually does. I'm pretty sure he goes to bed thinking about Gabe Newell. He's probably got like a bubblegum statue like fucking Helga Pataki did for Arnold in Hey Arnold. He is constantly thinking about Valve and Gabe Newell. But anyway, off the back of that question about like that Avengers team up there, he is then asked, do you think Valve can be convinced of that? They've got a nice thing going. So he says, we'll see. They have a nice thing going on PC, but they reach what percentage of the PC audience? You know, they don't reach any of the Fortnite audience. They don't have Fortnite and Riot Games and Genshin Impact. By the way, bro, they do have like the Hoyoverse audience. A lot of the MiHoYo games are on there. You're just literally wrong and refusing to even bother to get it right. And many other top games in the industry on Steam. They're missing out on a lot of opportunity that I think they could have if they took the more forward-looking open view that Epic has taken and Microsoft has taken. Microsoft Store charges 12%, really good deal. Google now giving all developers a better deal. Some really cool things coming for the future. So I think there really is the opportunity to form Team Open. Steam's got a pretty sweet business. A lot of gamers love Steam, but imagine if you could have Steam on all platforms. What if you could have it on iPhone? What if you have it on Android? What if they carried a lot of games? Or what if they keep doing what they've been doing for the last 2 decades that's been working without a hitch? Nothing. Do nothing and win. They got it right. They've cemented themselves as the de facto platform everyone flocks to when it comes to a PC title. I don't see why they'd make some huge pivot just because Tim Sweeney says so and tries to offer alternative solutions to a non-existent problem that Steam has. Like, there are plenty of things you can criticize Steam for. I know I've done it quite a bit in the past, but in terms of every other platform on the market in this industry, they are still the best. The only one that even comes close is GOG, but they occupy a different niche. Nobody is willingly choosing the Epic Game Store over Steam if they have the choice. It just doesn't happen. So why the fuck is this guy trying to make it seem like it's even close or that there'd be any value in them teaming up and offering like these creative ideas on how to make it even better when all of his ideas for the Epic Game Store clearly don't work? And I also love that Tim Sweeney is parading around as the Team Open guy, giving the idea that he wants everything to be open, transparent, collaborative, meanwhile also trying to push for Steam to remove the AI disclosures that they slap on games that use generative AI components and assets. Doesn't feel very open to me. I think there is nothing wrong with having that disclosure there, and in fact, I love when companies give consumers even more information on the products that they might be purchasing. And right now, AI in video games is something people care a lot about. Some people don't give a shit if there's AI there, so the AI disclosure doesn't matter to them, but there are people that do and don't want to just be playing slop. So it's nothing more than just giving consumers information on a product. That's it. Why is that a bad thing? Well, it's because Tim is a big AI guy, and he's not wrong that right now a lot of people don't want it, which is bad for Tim. So in the PC Gamer interview, he talks about AI's place in the workflow in the games industry, talking about how it can be used for drudge work, which is actually something I've talked about. I do think there is a very legitimate use case of AI when it comes to like just bulk garbage time work that isn't occupied by an actual like position in the company. It's people that have other positions that get forced to do like the tedious grunt work that's just served as like background tasks and shit. And that can be handled by AI without negatively impacting anyone or the product itself. That would be it being utilized as an actual tool. And from what I was reading, there's not like a mandatory AI disclosure if you use AI as a tool. It's only when it's AI generated assets. So that wouldn't even get flagged as like a necessary AI disclosure there if it's utilized in that way. Anyway, though, he goes on to say that if you want to launch a game and get it as widely publicized as possible, you've got to put it on Steam so people can wishlist it, and if you want to play it on Steam, then you have to get this scarlet letter of AI attached to your product, and now there's a hater community trying to kill the game. I think it's really irresponsible of Valve. They shouldn't do it because it makes much, much, much harder for a game developer to have a chance of success. You have to choose from either not using tools that can make you way more productive and probably failing due to competition that does. I mean, not really, though. If the competition is using AI and getting the AI disclosure, aren't they getting that scarlet letter too, Tim? So, like, they'd be having the same problems you're describing. So, in order to stand out from the competition, wouldn't the natural thing to do be to avoid those tools? That way you don't have that, and people would appreciate that? I don't even think his argument really makes sense because it's not irresponsible in any way. You're just giving consumers a choice. By putting that tag on there, you are just informing them that there is AI usage there, and the consumers that don't care, that tag doesn't matter. They'll still buy it. The ones that do care, maybe they avoid it. All it is just giving them more information so that way they can better decide what they want to spend their money on. That's all. I think the real meat of the issue here for Tim is that since AI isn't received overly well, he'd rather there not be a disclosure, so that way it's not front-facing, so he's not losing money when their games that they have do have AI in there. I think that's the big thing, because it would affect his wallet. It would affect their sales, because there are a lot of people that will not buy something that has an AI disclosure. That's entirely up to them. Tim would rather you not know and spend your money on it, is the feeling I get here. Has nothing to do about, like, think about the little guy not using the AI tools, the competition, that kind of thing, and then the scarlet letter if they do, oh no. I think the real motive is pretty clear. Tim loves AI. He sees a very strong future of AI in their products. Thus, if there's an AI disclosure, there's a lot of people that will immediately just not buy it, which hurts their financials. So he'd rather it just not exist and not be normalized. I think that's the truth behind it. Tim is on a crusade to try and get AI ham-fisted into the mainstream gaming consciousness as a positive thing. So a couple hours ago, he also made a statement, and by statement I mean tweet. This guy is fucking addicted to Twitter. It's his heroin. Talking about how AI could have helped Destiny stay profitable. So with Destiny 2 being shut down, one of the things was how much content it needed and how tedious and like how time consuming that was. So Tim got sassy and said, if only some sort of newfangled technology could have come along and make it possible to overcome bullet point number 1 and enable games like Destiny to thrive. So bullet point number 1 was about like how time consuming and expensive it was to keep introducing so much new content so it didn't get stale. And the report talked about how Destiny was only ever occasionally profitable because it kept having to make new content to keep players hooked. So Tim was saying how easily AI could have solved that. I'm pretty confident Tim Sweeney doesn't play games. I think I even remember him openly saying that he rarely plays games on an interview like a while ago. But anyway, the take is use AI. Just AI slopify shit in order to get content out as quickly as possible. The audience will eat it up. Eating out of the palm of your hand. That'll solve the issue. But that's not what people want, man. Like, if you actually played games, you would know people don't want just, like, lazily dog shit trash just for the sake of having new stimulation there. Like, sure, there is probably some people that don't mind, but on the whole, that is worse than having nothing. So, like, that wouldn't have solved Destiny's issue of, like, needing high-quality content to keep players hooked. And you could see the result, like, the proof is in the pudding. When they weren't making high-quality new content and instead were making lazy, not good content, they were hemorrhaging players. They weren't sticking around. AI wouldn't have been making new, interesting content. Now, if your argument is, like, maybe using AI as a tool to do some, like, I don't know, like background work somewhere so they could focus on good stuff, I highly doubt that would have saved them. It would have all of a sudden pushed them so far into the green they'd be shitting out $100 bills or anything. Because the drudge work, as Tim calls it, was not the bulk of what Destiny 2 required. So I don't think that's where most of their time and resources went to, like, doing this background drudge work. All of those resources were invested into trying to make fun, engaging, creative content to keep the players hooked and invested in this world because that's what they expected. They expect high quality work from the Destiny 2 universe. And AI can't do that. It can't. No matter how much Tim wants to delude himself into thinking it can, the reality is it can't. So even if it was doing like the drudge work, I don't think that all of a sudden saves Destiny 2, giving them more time to focus on the creative stuff, because they were still actively doing the creative stuff while others were doing the drudge work. So like, I think he's just wrong, is the point I'm making. But he constantly tries to chirp up any time he even sees AI's good name being besmirched about like, well, actually, AI is really good and this could have solved like every problem imaginable here in the games industry. Did you guys know that? Like, actually, did you know that? Also, you're going to shop in the Epic Games Store? What do you mean, no? Like, it's just constant. Every take he's been giving over the last like 6 months has just been eye-rolling. Anyone remember this little number from the bad take factory that is Tim Sweeney's brain? He had this little humdinger where he put his elbow grease into defending AI-generated imagery on Twitter, where during this time there was a huge conversation around something disgusting that was happening, where a lot of people were generating AI child porn and flooding the site with it. And there was a conversation about like, well, what do we do about it? And then the idea about like maybe banning Twitter if something's not done got brought up. So Tim Sweeney came in from the top turnbuckle and said, nope, that would be gatekeeping. Tim was really firing on all cylinders there. He was in the kitchen whipping up something fierce. He was cooking. His point was, AI is known to sometimes go off the rails, which I already think is really weird that he's going to bat trying to minimize how big of a deal that generating AI images of child sex abuse material and having it spread throughout Twitter as like a very big thing that was happening at the time is just the same as like a little hiccup with new technology. Like, oh yeah, new tech, AI, you know, sometimes it does go a little cattywomp as it gets a little weird, but we can't be gatekeeping and it'll lead to like censored political opponents, it stifles free speech, that kind of thing, because the conversation was about like something needs to be done here, so they were talking about like banning Twitter until it's fixed. And Tim's whole thing was, nope, we can't do anything about that. It'll eventually get worked out. It's just, you know, a little bump in the road we got to work through. And it's like, I don't know why he's not taking it seriously. Like, it is a big deal. That's a huge fucking deplorable thing that's going on here. And yeah, Twitter needs to do something about it to stop that shit from happening. And if Twitter had refused or continued to just sit idly by on their hands, thumb up their ass, and just allow it to persist, then yeah, Twitter should be banned. It's not free speech to just be generating child sex abuse material, Tim. Like, there needed to be some action prompted. So yeah, threatening like, hey, if you guys don't do something, you will be taken off the app stores, I think makes sense. I don't know why he had such a hard pushback against that. Twitter needed to do something. And I think that was a very natural progression to take. Like, hey, there is a problem with AI generating child porn on your platform. We will ban it if action isn't taken. That checks out to me. I don't know why it didn't to Tim Sweeney, and I don't know why he so adamantly fought about, you know, this is gatekeeping and trying to, like, minimize how big of a deal that problem was. Very odd. Point is, Tim Sweeney's a dweeb. I have not been a Tim Sweeney fan here for a little while, and he is going ballistic now with more and more takes I completely disagree with over the last, like, only few weeks, really. So yeah, I just wanted to yap about him a bit. That's it. See ya. I watched a body cam the other day on stream, and I still think about it and make references to it. Even though it wasn't like the craziest body cam ever, the protagonist was like if you tried to create Alex Jones in a lab just off of the Cliff Notes. And it was so interesting, the monologues he was going on. And I've been so back and forth on like what caused it, because at the time I thought maybe like drug related, which they did find like pills on his person, but I don't think the pills would cause that, or if it was like an actual mental health issue. But when I tried to look into this guy, it doesn't seem like that's really the case. So maybe it was like substance related, but either way, the lines he was dropping throughout the body cam are iconic. The most unhinged meltdown ever caught on body cam. Is that new? Man, he's looking feral. He's got spit flying out, drooling. Damn. Alright, I might have to check that out. But that made me have to take a shit, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That was very sad, though. Alright, time to watch the most unhinged meltdown ever, caught on body cam. Why was it sad? It was no poop, only fart. That was the most unshat shit ever caught in my butt.
You bow the down right this minute! Now! I'd like to rip the side of your face off and eat it!
This is not the aftermath
What
of
a
a
cool
violent
guy.
crime, but a simple trespassing complaint that spiraled out of control when one man unleashed such extreme rage that it tested the patience of everyone involved, turning it into a case no one saw coming.
You spineless motherfucker!
He's got a cool voice.
It began on the afternoon of November 1st, test and removed. While
Man, they got the son of anarchy here. He's a big Cowboys fan too, from the look of things.
the 56-year-old man reportedly appeared to be talking to himself and was not actively threatening anyone at the moment. The caller informed dispatchers that he had made threats towards staff in the past and had also posted threatening statements online.
How you doing, brother?
Good, how are you?
Hey, man.
I don't care. Yeah, step up.
I'm sorry about being a ass neighbor when you were over there.
He seems
What's up?
nice.
Glad you're here. Come on over. I got great news for you.
Just come over here.
What's the good news? What's the gospel?
Okay, I'll take a pic of you.
I don't care.
All right, awesome. I appreciate that, my man.
What's going on,
I always
man?
loved your kids. They were such cool little.
What?
You got to enjoy them. All right, here. First, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, you too.
What? Is this psychosis? What is happening? Is this bath salts?
All right, I'm sorry we didn't get to connect when we were neighbors and shit like that.
That's okay.
These motherfuckers got the door. They got the balls to lock the doors on me. Let me tell you a little story, buddy. So I busted my fucking ass. I was. Let me
Here,
go back
right?
a little further. Huh? Yeah.
Here, yeah.
I've been here I was here for about 9 months. I quit on Monday. Asked for divorce on Tuesday.
From
Went
both?
through hell for the third time on.
What an eventful week.
I believe it was Thursday.
Okay.
We'll get to that shit later.
Therefore.
I want to talk to them
About what?
about the great opportunity that has been brought to them today, that they will blow their goddamn brains out themselves willingly in 3 hours.
What?
If they don't hear this message, and I go
What message? That must be one hell of a message.
tell somebody else first. That's how fucking serious this shit is, buddy. I'm lying not one iota.
While the officer was still reaching the location, the man reportedly attempted to enter the business
Cool
through the
render.
employee entrance. When he was unable to get inside,
They set
he
up
became
a
increasingly
blender
aggressive,
recreation.
Oh,
yanking harder on the door and yelling at staff members.
That is very disgusting.
I'm assuming you
there
drove
is
your
some.
bike here?
There is. Yeah. Write me a goddamn ticket. You see that motherfucking flagpole? Because I have passion. You people don't recognize
why are we
passion.
yelling?
I recognize passion.
Because I'm very upset. Because I sacrifice like you will not believe for this company. If you knew what I did for everybody in this country right now, you'd be on your knees kissing my. You would willingly lick my.
I doubt.
Unless you're a commie. Are you a commie? You like the Russians?
No, I do not.
You like.
Stop.
It's fine. It's not right. You want me to? You tell. All right. Here's the deal. I'll make you wait. I'll give you guys the deal.
So, if we only knew what he's done for this country, we would be kissing and licking his ass like a whole lollipop. Bro, I've gotta hear his stories, man. I've gotta know. What has he, is this, like, who is this? Ethan Hunt? Like, what has he done?
Deal.
What are you talking about?
I'll give you a deal. All right. You guys gamblers?
No.
Want to make a bet?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then
What are you even talking about?
Talk about.
I like this guy. The officer up
Why are
there.
we down here causing a scene right now?
Because I was impassioned to come in and bless these people's day. Fridays are a fun day, but this was going to be extra special, and it was planned pristinely for that occasion.
What was going to be special about it?
I was going to enlighten their minds with some wonderful, brilliant news
Can I ask
that
what
you
that
guys
news
are
is?
going to be so embarrassed if you squash.
Can I ask what it is?
Yeah, first of all, we're all going to take a big breath, right?
God, the build up here, the hype. I've got to know what this message is. What could he possibly be telling us? Wow. I can't even imagine. Please.
We're going to relax, all
Sounds
right?
good.
We're going to shake our arms around. We're going to have some fucking fun for a change, all right? Or we can run around, stop being like a plugged up fucking toilet. Oh, you can't say that.
Bro
You can't
thinks
say
it's
that
disclosure day.
While en route, the sergeant asked dispatch to check the man's driving and criminal status, if any. Dispatch advised that the man's Class D and Class M driving privileges were both revoked. But soon, both the sergeant and the responding officer are about to realize that his revoked license is going to be the least of their concerns.
Drew, you only just empty my I'm
telling you, keep your hands out of your pockets for me. Stop.
There it is.
Okay.
Stop
He threw a couple of quarters.
Stop putting your pockets.
Go ahead, dig your fingers in there.
I don't want to. That's
Why?
He's on some Turbo Duke Nukem shit. So he like empties out his pockets, getting rid of his legendary loot there in front of the officers, and is still going on about like this message. So this could be like something related to like a psychotic episode, I suppose, but it doesn't seem like, from what I've been able to tell, he has a history of it. So maybe this is just like him trying to throw them off for what he's actually doing there, or it could be substance related as well. I'm not really sure. But ultimately, he is harmless. He's just hitting some very big thespian troupe monologues that I think have a lot of weight to them. There's a lot of meat there. And, as he says, a lot of passion.
Stop.
Grab for it.
You're being detained right now.
Here's my thanks for saving the United States.
You're being detained right now.
Here's my thanks for saving the United States of America, people. But I'll do it for you all over again. I don't give a f.
Are you better?
Oh, that was sweet.
2 times selling, old baby. All right.
All right, that was a cool twist. You a veteran? Nope. But I am a criminal. And I saved this country, damn it. You ever heard of the Suicide Squad? That was me.
Outlaw motherfucking craziest you've ever fucking dreamt of. If you knew what you were doing right now, you'd run the other direction.
Do you have somebody you can call to come pick a motorcycle up for you?
Yeah. Actually, if you guys touch that fucking thing, you're going to regret it the rest of your eternity.
Highly doubt it.
So you want to bet?
Right
you want to
now.
bet me?
Stop.
You
just
prick. I have to sacrifice my for you miserable cowards. Stop. You motherfuckers piss me the f off.
Right,
you, what are you, a fucking Russian? You suckers piss me the f off.
You won't like him when he's angry.
You better fucking take them cuffs.
You better
off
hope
and
those
rock,
cuffs are made
bro.
out of adamantium.
I live next to you. I am telling you something.
Stop.
You assholes are gonna.
Does he actually live
kiss
next
my
to him?
ass. You, I did this for you, America. Arrest me, boys. Take me away. Land of the free and home of the brave, motherfucker. Take me away. You got it, baby.
This is cool. This guy's cool.
Stop. Coward.
Stop before you make this.
I don't care. Go ahead. Do whatever you got.
I'm gonna take your bandana off.
No, you're not. Don't
Not his bandana. No!
Oh, you gotta make sure. I spent 15 minutes getting that on perfectly. You know why? I got passion, you miserable coward. You too.
15 minutes to put the bandana on? What was it doing? Fighting back? Is it like Doctor Strange's cape? What do you mean, dude? How would that take 15 minutes? Sounds like he just didn't know how to put a bandana on.
I got the wrath of God at my fingertips. You sure you want to be digging around in there?
Sure.
Are you sure? Take them cuffs off right in a second. Get on your goddamn knees. You better fucking start listening, boy. I'm fucking warning you.
Oh no, it's beeping! DEFCON!
Red light.
The ground is shaking, he's going Super Saiyan!
Gutless pig. You copper. Let's go to line. I'm going.
As he proceeded to lose his shit, a records inquiry later confirmed that the man's driving privileges had originally been revoked following an OWI-related incident in 2020.
Framed.
It also
He was
revealed that
framed.
He already had 2 prior convictions for operating after revocation.
Framed
since his
again.
license status was revoked in October 2021 and again in May 2023, making this his 3rd OWI-related OAR offense. But now, the man is about to stop at nothing as he continues piling even more charges.
Are you
against
telling me
himself.
this guy's not sober? This hero? No. Fishing for charges. They just didn't, they just don't understand.
I'll wring your useless. I'll grab you by the neck with my one good tooth and drag your ass to the other side of the street. If you don't fucking belong, you're maggot. You gutless.
One
you
good
sick,
tooth.
you sick. That's not on me. That's him talking to you, Paul. Would you stop it? You're hurting my left wrist.
Come this way, please.
Dude, stop. I have a hard enough time.
I feel like he's got most of his teeth. I don't know why he's saying one good tooth. Did he forget that he has all the teeth in his mouth? Like, this ain't Tommy Pickles or anything, bro. He's still got most of his pearly whites. He's just trying to have a superhero monologue. I mean, that's true, I guess, but at least be accurate.
This way. The f up and give me a sec. Oh, you sucking maggot. You fucking maggot. You're gonna regret this for eternity because you're going right to hell. Because I'm gonna
You're not my judge, fortunately.
I ain't, buddy.
Sit in the car, please.
You bow the f down right this minute. Now.
Sit in the car.
You better reconsider.
You better reconsider. Sit in the car.
Sit down, Ron.
Check here. Jump in your cars. I'm gonna whisper to you. Please, unhand me this instant.
ASMR.
Get in your car.
That sounds good.
Past that point. Sit in the car, please.
Get in the cars.
Sit down.
Get in your cars after you uncuff me and mildly drive away as politely as possible while saluting me with a crisp and respectful, proper salute, boys! Are you fucking hearing me yet?
I ask you respectfully, sit inside my police.
That was a good monologue.
I'll do that, brother.
That was powerful.
Absolutely. I got no problem with the law.
Okay.
We gotta have laws. We don't have to have dumb f***s that can't get their head out of their ass like you two.
I agree. Have a seat in the car, please.
All right, bro.
Thanks.
He kind of, he kind of looks like, he kind of looks a little bit like Heihachi from Tekken. Like the side profile is giving me very much Heihachi vibes.
My other foot's looking, it's fucking big around as a pumpkin. So, thanks very much. You're welcome. Ingrate.
Stop.
You fucking useless coward.
Stop.
You can't take, I'll take you both right now. Draw your guns. I got handcuffs on. I don't stand a chance. You lily-livered monkey.
You're gonna make this worse for yourself.
All right, let's go. You got anything to eat?
In the car, please.
Got anything to eat? Lay your
He's hungry.
hands off me. My
You're not you
golden
when you're hungry.
Cowboys, my valiant fucking cowboy straight, you
Then
punk.
put your feet in the
Decide what to do with his motorcycle.
Sounds like the zombies in Call of Duty World. Jesus, Kino der Toten.
Gotta run! Get your goddamn stinking fucking hands off my shit! You, what are you, a fucking Arab? I'll rip your ass apart! Can we just go? I'm so fucking hungry.
That has been the one through line, is appetite.
Let me out! I swear I'll eat you alive! Right this second! You goddamn motherfuckers!
This is gonna be a chapter. Used to be my neighbor.
Did he?
It does sound like a zombie movie.
I hate your.
I can't believe he actually is his neighbor. That is mind-boggling to me. So these two are gonna see each other at some point again. Oh man, I wonder how that goes. Well, he might not be intoxicated at that point. The demon maybe only comes out when he's had a little. Used to be. Oh, did I hear him wrong? Did he say used to? I might have been paying too much attention to the screaming. Was it in the past? Oh, okay.
They can find a couple broomsticks to use on each other. You fucking joy boy motherfuckers.
What do we want? Want me to try to contact him about the bike?
If you can, yeah, see.
Do we want to ask him, or do we just
So much as look in your direction. I'll yank their fucking shit out backwards and then stuff it in the other side. God damn it, I hate you motherfuckers. You fuckheads.
Oh, no, he's alting.
You Russian fucking whore. And got it in for the USA. I got news for you, brother. I got everybody's back.
Oh, he's going Hulk Hogan.
He is not very cooperative.
Get the fuck out of my goddamn country. Jack, motherfucking shit bag. You ain't worth 2 cents of in a pan in hell.
He would talk to you.
There's so much to unpack. Modern day Shakespeare. It is very Shakespearean. You aren't worth 2 cents. I'll shit in a pan in hell, I think is what he said.
Can we just talk?
Take your shit off and get on your knees.
Are we gonna talk?
Get on your knees.
I'm not gonna.
Right now.
Can we just talk?
Just get on your knees, man, please. Appease him.
All right.
I'm warning you. Open that door politely.
He's gonna activate Amaterasu in a second. Just get on your knees.
Shut your face a minute and give me a second.
I have to grab you though, right?
Shortly after the man was turned over to jail staff, officers were notified that a small prescription pill had been found inside his wallet during the booking process. Jail staff advised that the pill appeared to be a Schedule II controlled stimulant. The officer later retrieved the pill and transported it to the Sparta Police Department, where it was photographed and submitted into evidence. The small white pill marked M in a square and 20 above a line was secured as evidence. An online search identified it as 20 milligram methylphenidate hydrochloride, a Schedule II central nervous system stimulant, which explained some of his behavior.
What is it normally used for? What is that treat? It's an ADHD medication. Is it really? I've never heard of that one. M20 is ADHD meds. Huh. There's no way that's responsible for this then. Ain't no way. It's similar to Adderall. Yeah, and Adderall doesn't turn you into this. I mean, I guess maybe if you take it enough, like a fucking absurd amount, I guess. I don't know, maybe. Probably mixed with other stuff. I guess that's possible, yeah. I don't know.
Get your hands off me, you f***ing monkey fuck. What are you gonna play with my packer, you f***ing queen? What do you want to stick your...
What are you doing to that patriot? What are you doing to him?
I'm not doing anything.
Gutless. Kneel down, please. Kneel down, please.
Well, this was pretty nice.
Kneel down.
No.
Kneel down.
Everyone got to make some new friends. Hey, he's walking. He's passionately walking.
That's respect.
Cross his legs.
All right, let go of me.
Cross his legs.
Dude, please, you're hurting me.
Just relax.
You're hurting me.
Relax.
You're the one not relaxing.
Where you hurting?
You're my arms. Please, I beg you, let go of me.
Relax.
His tone just changed so much. Guys, come on, let's take it down a notch. You guys are getting a little extreme. Come on, relax, guys. What are you doing? Grow up.
Ultimately, the man was charged with felony, battery threat to an officer, ×2,
I didn't see
misdemeanor,
any of that.
possession of a controlled substance, disorderly conduct, and operating while revoked. He was later released on a $250 cash bond. Eventually, he pleaded guilty due to a no contest plea of 1 count of battery threat to an officer. Remaining charges were dismissed. Ultimately, he was only sentenced to pay a $500 fine.
Kind of worth it then. He got to have one hell of an afternoon at only a $500 price tag. I'm bringing out the whimsy today in my attire here. I dusted off the bucket hat for the first time in a while, and while I may look like a quirky side character in a 90s cartoon, I'm anything but happy-go-lucky today. Now, a little piece of something I want to talk about today is going to ruffle some feathers. This is going to be upsetting if you suffer from a mental illness known as delusional hopium, latching on to the fraudulent titty of GameStop as your cash cow, believing that it'll make you a multimillionaire overnight just because Ryan said so. So if you happen to suffer from that illness, you probably won't like something I'm going to yap about here. Also, it may be beneficial if you get yourself institutionalized. Get yourself the help you need before it's too late and you waste all your money and time on this garbage. GameStop is one of the worst companies out there right now in terms of like an actual business. Like, yes, they've been profitable quite consistently because they just started closing and firing everyone. It wasn't some ingenious strategy. It was just cutting everything. So obviously they're going to go a bit into the green. But their actual stores, their actual business is fucking atrocious. I'll give it one compliment here, and it feels like poison leaving my mouth, but their pricing on some retro games in some of their stores is reasonable. But beyond that, they offer nothing except a fist into your ass and deep into your wallet as well. They get in there like a colonoscopy. And the most egregious demonstration for their greed comes from their bread and butter, which is no longer games, by the way, it's collectibles. They've fully pivoted into collectibles, most notably Pokemon, and they are by far the worst in the industry when it comes to their pricing as far as retailers go. So the 30th anniversary celebration collection is right around the corner for Pokemon, and the Ultra Premium Collection box, the UPC, is being listed by GameStop, allegedly, at $600, which is more than 3 times MSRP. MSRP for the UPC is 200 clams. And GameStop, being a huge retailer, which gets distribution pricing, mind you, is listing it for 3x that. That's inexcusable. And just for a point of reference, this is the distribution pricing for this series here, the 30th anniversary celebrations. If you look at the bottom there, for a case of Ultra Premium Collection, 4 boxes, they're paying $488, Now, I've seen this exact same pricing in multiple other spots as well from multiple sources, so I'm inclined to believe that this is accurate. This is the distribution price that anyone that has access to a distributor is paying for these products. So, GameStop obviously has a distro, and they're paying for 4 boxes less than you as a normal consumer, an average Joe Schmo blow, are paying for 1 from their store. And the reason they get away with it, as I've already said, is because fucking mindless drones still flock to it and pay that crazy price on it, because so many other places that do sell at MSRP get wiped out instantly by botters and scalpers that are camping out for fucking 12 hours to try and be the first in line to get their grubby paws on it. So then people go to GameStop, of all places, a godless zone, a PvP-enabled zone as well. So many fights keep happening outside of GameStop from Pokemon scalpers. But they go there and pay this crazy upcharge for no reason, just because GameStop can get away with it. GameStop honestly feels like pricing that would be like how Mr. Krabs would run this, like charging you extra for the air. It's so out of control. It's laughable that there's real sentient people out there that pick up the shield and white knight for this corporation just so they can continue to swallow their cock because they believe that somehow by nut fondling GameStop, it'll lead to huge profits for them on the back end because they've invested so much in GME because they bought into the Reddit hype around it. No one goes to GameStop for anything other than trying to get Pokemon product to scalp, which is a terrible idea, by the way, because you are getting scalped by GameStop, so you've already failed step 1 in your journey to become one of these scumbag scalpers. You're already just bad at it. They're also terrible in the collector space in general. Like, Funko Pop collectors don't even go to GameStop for the Funko Pops that GameStop invested so heavily in. They made like a big emphasis for a while on, we're the Funko Pop guys now, which is so embarrassing and so cringe. They're also terrible at appealing to gamblers with their power packs. A big thing GameStop has pivoted to is trying to get into like the degeneracy around TCG gambling. So they have these things called power packs where you pay for a wide variety of tiers that offer different kind of potential grails, like hits in there that go all the way up to like hundreds of dollars per pack to thousands of dollars per pack. But the thing is, their grails are just worse than all of the other competitors out there. So GameStop isn't even getting like the big hits that would make you want to dump thousands of dollars for a chance at gambling on these packs. So they're the worst when it comes to Pokemon pack gambling too. They are a circus. They are just a clown show. They're a joke of a company. And the only reason people ever try to defend them is because they're hoping that they'll see some financial upside for their service here in the GME front lines and the trenches. But they are a terrible business. There's just nothing they do well, other than the occasional retro game. Like, that's really it. So, it's not surprising to see them 3x MSRP on the 30th anniversary Pokemon UPCs around the corner, but it is still just gross. Their greed is disgusting, and it is limitless. It knows no bounds. It will always find a way to go lower. That's the GameStop motto. But I want to change gears for just a moment because it is not just GameStop, and I've said this before. There are plenty of others as well. Some big retailers, which I've yapped about, but also I want to completely change this. LGSs. So many local game stores now are just fully embracing scalper pricing, which is so heartbreaking to see because I've been a big advocate for supporting your local game stores, your local card shops. But now I've seen the infestation spread. I've seen this infection take root and rot so many of these LGSs now. I've always recommended that if you're looking to shop for singles or get sealed product, to go check out your local spots. Like, a lot of these are family-owned businesses and would love to see you there, and like, they're really fun areas to go. And if you don't have one nearby or at like a reasonable driving distance, or they don't have what you were looking for, then I always recommended TCG Player for singles or sealed product or something, because it's just this giant culmination of all of these LGSs, like actual brick and mortar that sell through there. Like, a lot of my local stores here sell through TCG Player, even though they have physical locations too. And there's also some like online ones that do business through there too. But it's just this big culmination of all of these LGSs. And for the longest time, you'd find like real pricing that made sense. It was reasonable. Yes, often it would be slightly over MSRP, but I'd always been okay with that personally because I know these aren't like big businesses per se. Most of them are just family owned and operated from a passion coming from a place of passion. So I don't mind paying a little over MSRP to them because it helps them stay afloat. Plus, they don't get the same kind of distribution allocation that fucking GameStop does. Where GameStop gets thousands, they'll get a handful, sometimes double digits if they're lucky, or if they're huge, they can get up to 100 or something, but never to the level of like a GameStop. So I've always been understanding to that fact that they sell a bit over MSRP because they just don't get a ton of it. But now, go look at what they're selling modern Pokemon sets for. It emulates scalper pricing 1-to-1. They are fully just on board with it, selling at the same crazy price. So like the UPC 30th celebration here, a single box of this, $14.70 at the lowest. And these are coming from real stores. That symbol, that black symbol next to the orange one on those stores means that it is a verified hobby shop, meaning it has a physical location. These are real locations and they are selling at $1,470 for a single box of these. Not a case, wait, not a game, we're talking about practice. A single box at $14.70. And you can see like they have 1 or 2 or 3, and then when you get down to the Poke Shop and Gaming Company, 8 and then 50, and they're still selling at that crazy fucking price. Sickening. I don't care if this was my dad running the shop trying to charge that price. I would go over there and I'd hit him with one of these, wiggling my finger at him, saying shame on charging this much for the UPC. Now, presumably, these companies here, these stores, have distribution. I'm guessing their allocation is pretty low for most of them, but it doesn't really matter. You saw the distribution pricing there. $4.88 for a case of it. And you're selling one box for $14.70. That one in specific, the gaming company, has 50. So no doubt they got distribution pricing for all this. And they're still selling each one of those for $1,480. That is so fucked up, man. And it's not just the UPC. The ETB here, the Elite Trainer box for 30th anniversary celebration, is going for $399, $400 at the lowest from any shop. You know what the MSRP is on an ETB for this set? $50. Like, come on. Look at the quantity a lot of those certified shops are selling. They definitely got distribution access to the ETB, which means they're paying $33 per unit, and they're charging you, the consumer, $400 per box. Like, come the fuck on. Like, this isn't GameStop. That's not GameStop doing that. That is your local card shop that is now unapologetically embracing this madness, exploiting you in the wake of this hysteria around Pokemon, because they know you are going to struggle to find it at MSRP now because of so many scalpers and botters swiping it before you get a chance, just gobbling it all up when like Best Buy sells at MSRP or something. So you will have to go to an LGS. Thus, they now just jack it through the roof, same way scalpers do. It fucking hurts to see that, man. I still love TCG Player as a platform. Like, it's not TCG Player fault that these LGSs now just want to go full scalper brain on shit. And not everything is as bad as Pokemon in the TCG world, so there's still a lot of good LGSs that sell through there. But holy shit, just seeing it all just laid out like this, just blatant right in your face, it's so unfortunate. Like, I can't be angry at just GameStop and give all the LGSs a pass, even though they're doing over double what GameStop is doing per box. Granted, the difference is GameStop gets thousands of boxes, meanwhile these LGSs get tens, maybe hundreds of boxes. But even still, the philosophy is still the same. Hose the consumer for as much as they possibly can to get away with it, because they know the scarcity is out of control now because everyone's in this spending frenzy, this endless consume cycle. So you're going to have to resort to paying these crazy prices, and people are doing it because they can't help themselves. I've seen people flexing about how they don't care that it's $600 from GameStop. You must be some kind of fucking broke dweeb if you can't afford that. And then posting a picture of their receipt just trying to dunk on you. Torps, look at this. I just wasted $600 at GameStop for my 30th anniversary UPC. So like, there are people that genuinely are just unapologetically paying the 3x MSRP markup GameStop's doing. There are people that are doing the 7x markup that the LGSs are doing through TCG Player. Like, it's just so fucked, man. As I said, I wish I had distribution access so that way I could just come in here and fully face fuck all of it and just offer it MSRP forever. And yeah, you bet your sweet bippy I'd be cutting the plastic on all that shit so that way it wouldn't be being resold by these losers. So, it's not going to happen because distribution access is like a unicorn at this point, especially for Pokemon, because everyone's starting card shops right now, starting online card businesses right now. So distribution is not something accessible at all. But the people that have distribution, they're wielding Excalibur for evil here. Like, they are still, even though they're getting crazy wholesale pricing on the shit that they're stocking their shelves with, are 3xing, 7xing their inventory. Like, I know that they only have a handful of UPCs, but that's still not excusable to just 7x the MSRP on that, because I know you paid close to distribution, if not distribution, in a lot of the cases from the LGSs on there. So, like, this is ridiculous. It is so fucking out of control. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.